This is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast, or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
The newly renovated Jim Darnell Stadium at Rose Field, home of the Midwest City Bombers and home of tonight's action between the Midwest City Bombers and the Del City Eagles. Hi, everyone. I'm Jordan Ray, joined once again by Tom Carpenter. And, Tom, this is a newly renovated section of the stadium, and right now we have this monument here. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, when I first saw that, my son, I think, was the one that posted it on the internet and on Facebook, and then I realized how many times I've probably stepped over this last step out of the locker room in my lifetime. I had 3 sons do it. My brother had done it. And the more I look at it, the more I like it.
Yeah, and the players now will be coming down this ramp after they get out of the locker room and will be touching this on their way out to the field, so that's pretty cool. Now, Tom, as far as the game goes, the Bombers looking pretty good. They won their first home game since 2018 against Lawton High 2 weeks ago. Now they're playing a Del City team that's 0-3, but they are a really good 0-3 team. Huge game.
Yes, they are. And when I was working on the lineups, I noticed how big they've gotten. They've really been in the weight room working. They've got some fast guys. They've got some guys who've got a lot of press already this year. Bombers going to have to step up, play a game.
And we'll see if they will. Coming up next, I'll be talking with Bomber head coach Darrell Hall. And then I also interviewed Jalen Long Jackson, that and more. You're watching Midwest City Bomber football on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Hi, my name is Zach Knudsen. I'm an orthopedic surgeon in Oklahoma City. I'm a specialist in hip and knee preservation, in particular cartilage restoration, hip arthroscopy, minimally invasive procedures to try to salvage hips and knees and try to prevent them from going on to arthroplasty or joint replacement. Orthopedics is unique in that it is the ability to have somebody who's injured, their life has changed, and we fix them and they can go back to doing the things that they love.
Welcome back to Midwest City Bomber football. I'm happy to once again be joined by Midwest City head coach Darrell Hall. And Coach Hall, let's start with this. What was your reaction when you found out that the U.S. Grant game had been canceled?
Well, we were disappointed. I mean, we always liked the opportunity to play, and when we found that out going into the Lawton game before we take in the field, so it wasn't anything to discuss with the young men. But, you know, when we came back on our meeting after the game, you know, I let them know that we weren't going to be playing the next week. So we're disappointed because, you know, it's an opportunity to play a game, opportunity to get a district win, you know, so all that. And when you get to go to Spiegel Stadium, it's really nice once they've redone it.
Yeah, and this is something that you're familiar with. You've played in Spiegel Stadium because it's a very legendary stadium, very legendary name, and you coached there. So did that have some sentimental value to you?
To some extent. I mean, it was in my home field, but we played several contests when we played Southside teams there when I was at Spencer. So, yeah, I mean, I look forward to the opportunity. I mean, we're football coaches. It's football season, and we want to play games.
Of course. Any chance that the U.S. Grant game could be made up, or what do you think?
Not sure. I made a call to the OSSA today, Mike Whaley. They were in meetings because my ideal, I've got a couple suggestions to help us to give us an opportunity to get some of these games in. I don't see it happening since they canceled with Stillwater this week. You know, when Northwest Classic canceled with Del City last week, and they canceled the week before with Putnam City North when U.S. Grant actually played someone. Yes. So I don't see it happening.
So let's talk about the Lawton game then. You guys win 34-9, and it was a very complete win. What were you most proud of about that game?
The win, honestly. But it was a complete game on both halves. I mean, we shut a very good Lawton team, an undefeated Lawton team, out in the second half. That's a big deal. We got to play a lot of players. I mean, if you were at the game, we scored 34 points, but we could have scored more. But instead of choosing, we had our 15 points for district win, get the players out of the game so they don't get injured, and play some other guys. So we played a lot of players, and, there's guys that got some varsity snaps, so we're trying to build experience as we go on. So to be able to get the win, play a lot of players, and limited injuries, win, 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 win.
And I asked Coach Hudson before the game about what made Mikhail Smith a Division I player as a cornerback, but now he's getting a lot of play at receiver, and he's averaging about over 25 yards a catch, and he has a streak going of every game he has a catch of 40 yards or more. And you guys are using him a lot there now. How would you describe his progression as a receiver?
Well, it's always been there. When he came out to play football, he wanted to be on the offensive side more than defense, but we needed him more on the defensive side. So the thing about him, Mikhail, is that he's an athlete. He's a cat. You only have so many cats at a time. So, in addressing my staff, we had to figure out ways to get him on the field a little bit more for the offense. And he makes plays because he gives us an advantage. If you're going to single cover him, it's going to give him an opportunity to throw a ball over you. If you're going to double cover him, then now you've removed somebody out of play, so it's to our advantage.
And is Quatavian Carter, is he expected to be available?
I would expect not. He has suited up this week, but we hadn't got the clearance. He's still going to physical therapy. We'll find something out on Thursday. So looking at that, probably not.
So this offensive line, though, how do you feel about as far as quality of depth and how they're playing? They did have a few holding penalties against Lawton, but they've had protected DJ well and stuff like that, so they've had their successes as well throughout the year.
We've grown, and it's been there's been a couple of guys that started every game, and then we've had to fill in with others. And so far, we've manned the task. I was very happy with our production. Are we good as we need to be? No. So we got to keep getting better. We're going to set a couple of guys, and we're going to move some guys around this week. But, it's called high school football, and there's injuries there, and we're thin there. So, we keep looking for someone to step up, giving opportunities for people to step up, and hopefully someone will continue to step up.
So now you got Del City. Huge game. And two-part question. One, just your general thoughts about playing Del City. You saw them play the week before against Stillwater. And then just having 2 out of 3 weeks off, can that be a problem as far as rust goes?
Of course. I had spoken to Coach Dunn, after the game, and he thought they started out a little rusty because they had missed 3 weeks. So in the second half they played a lot better game against Stillwater. We were off last week, so we're a little bit, I don't think so, rust. We got a chance to heal people. I look at it as an advantage to work on things we need to work on to get better. So that makes it that's to our advantage. It's a Del City game. You better bring your best. They're the best 0-3 team we've seen. I think they're the best team we've seen all year. So we've got to be prepared to play.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Coach. We look forward to that game, and we look forward to talking to you at the end of the game, hopefully with a Bomber victory.
Well, that's what we're expecting. Everybody come out and watch us play at Rose Field. They're going to do the opening ceremony at 6:30. Please come out.
All right. And when we come back, Tom Carpenter's Keys to the Game and more. You're watching Mississippi City Bomber football on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
I'm starting. Moving in. All right, everybody get in real quick.
You just hold it like this, and you don't need the flash.
Learning with VR. Finals, baby! You know I got this!
I got an A! Nailed it!
We did it! Rose State College. Going somewhere starts here.
And welcome back to Midwest City Bomber football on the Oklahoma Sports Network. And I'm happy to be joined by our player of the game from last week, LeJalen Long Jackson. LJ, how you doing?
Good.
Let's talk about LJ for a second. That's the name you go by. Does the L stand for LeJalen and the J stands for what? Jalen or Jackson?
No, the LJ comes from my first name because it's spelled L-E''J. So that's where the LJ comes from.
All right, so in a way you could be called LJ, but we'll just call you LJ. All right, well, you had a heck of a game against Lawton High. We gave you player of the game because you had, I believe, 3 sacks and 4 tackles for losses. What was working well for you that game?
Man, I don't know. I just felt good to be back on the field, really, to have another big game. I mean, Noble, it really wasn't a big game, but it was a game. But I felt like Lawton was like, it was district, so I just had to ball out.
And you had a big district win. Talk about going from last year where you were an inside linebacker and you had 133 tackles, that's over 12 tackles a game, and now you've been playing on the outside, both strong and the jack position, as they call it. What's the differences like?
I mean, it's really not no difference to me because, I mean, I just – and my mindset on the field is just get to the ball, really. So, I mean, it really ain't no difference of where I play at.
Now, do you like to blitz most of the time, or how often would you say you drop back in pass coverage? Do you feel like that's also a strength of yours?
Coverage. I mean, I can cover the field, but it's like man to man. Sometimes it'd be hard because I mean I'm not that fast, so it's like if I get a fast receiver or something, they probably just like I'll just probably have to just get good hands on them to stop them, but. I do like blitzing. That is my favorite part of the game is blitzing.
Right, and then also, I mean, you're a great tackler. Coach Hudson said you're the best tackler of the team. OU could have used you last week. What is your approach to tackling in the game?
Really, it's just I really don't have nothing to say about tackling. It's just I just like to get to the ball and just make plays. Big-time players make big-time plays.
That's right, I guess, and you don't need to think about it too much, right? For senior night against Lawton, you had with you 4 women, your 4 moms, as they were called. Talk about that situation. That's a pretty unique situation.
Man, really, it's just like all me and my siblings really just been raised by women. We really haven't had like a father type. So it's just like we just depend on all 4 of the women, and then that just pushed me to help me to think on my siblings and go harder for them so we can make it out, really.
Very good. All right. And what do you hope, as a senior, what do you hope to do after high school?
I plan on getting rich.
Well, and Arthur Broyles, who we interviewed last week or 2 weeks ago, said he thinks you can do it because of how determined you are. But this linebacking core with him and with Chris Don seems to be the strength of the defense, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Chris Don, he definitely stepped up a lot this year. He definitely has been stepping up a lot. Like, he got a lot of turnovers. He's leading the team in turnovers right now. But I'm going to come get him, though. I'm going to come get him.
That's right. We hope to see you catch up to them. That'd be good. All right, Del City. They outplayed you guys. Last year they beat you pretty good at your place. Now it's a newly renovated stadium. You host them again. What are your thoughts about playing the Eagles?
We gotta win. We gotta execute, get to the ball, fly around to the ball. Offense gotta do their job. Gotta hold on the blocks, run, throw good. We gotta do everything right. You can never have a perfect game, but you can try to have one, and that's what we're trying to do. Trying to have a perfect game, perfect scoreboard, everything. We just got to execute.
All right, we look forward to seeing that. LJ, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
And we'll be back with more Midwest City Bomber football on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Did you get that new F-150?
Yep.
Where'd you go?
Greg Darnell Ford.
How was it?
Darn good!
We've got darn good deals with 0% interest for 72 months on most 2020 models. F-150s as low as $459 a month. Escapes as low as $349 a month. Fusions as low as $319 a month.
There's a new sheriff in town, and I'm laying down the law on low prices.
It's a calling that's kept us free. It's a place to belong. What's the calling? It's doing a job that makes a difference. Serving your community and your country. It's part-time service where the impact is full-time. What's your calling? Air Force Reserve.
Can't wait to see this place.
All right, I got this app.
Would you like to tour the house?
Yes?
Please.
Would you like to tour the house?
We're here, dude. House for sale.
Home for sale.
Home for sale.
Home for sale. Home for sale.
We've got a home.
Available now.
MM7 Sports Cards is your trading card and sports memorabilia store. Located just off I-35 and more, we carry a large variety of sports cards, old and new. We also have unique memorabilia for your office or your man cave. So come see us today. We are always buying, trading, talking, all things sports. MM7 Sports Cards, 2308 North Broadway, or check us out online at mm7sportscards.com.
All right, welcome back to Midwest City Bomber football on the Oklahoma Sports Network. We're having some video problems right now, but I want to let you know Bomber pregame is brought to you by Bomber Nutrition, 7460 East Reno, healthy foods fast. And once we get that up, let's look at Del City real quick. And we will get that video up soon. But Del City, here's what they've done. They're 0-3, but this is a very tough schedule. Barely losing at Booker T week 1, losing to Carl Albert by only a touchdown week 2. They had 2 weeks off. That's probably too many weeks off to get ready for a football game, unless it's the Super Bowl, I guess. But and then they played Stillwater very tough in the second half last week. Coach Mike Dunn told me that they were rusty in the first half when they were trailing by 3 touchdowns. So, Tom, last time we called the game, it was Lawton High. They were a 3-0 team that you couldn't tell how good they were because of the schedule. Same thing with Del City. You can't tell. You can't say this is a bad team even though they're 0-3.
That's correct. I mean, they played 3 powerhouses. That's all there is to it. And then having the couple of games off didn't help, and having to go into Stillwater and play them. So the Bombers may have their hand full tonight. I don't think this is going to be just an all skate. It's going to be a tough fight.
All right, let's go ahead. Actually, let's go and look at the injury situation first for Midwest City. Quintavion Carter is still out with an injury, and Kamarian Smiley, one of the running backs, will also be out. So the offensive line depth still not completely there. Also, Marquise Hood will not be playing. It's not injury-related, but he will not be in the lineup today. And let's go ahead and look at the schedule for our district this week. And this is something we want to talk about a little bit more. Interesting to know, we're the only game going on right now, Del City against Midwest City. The other 3 games have been canceled. One team has canceled it against the other. And so this is an interesting situation, and it brings us to the standings. When you look at the standings, as you can see, no team has played 3 games. No team will have played 3 games by the end of our 3rd week of district play. Every team will have had at least 1 week off. Some teams multiple weeks off because of COVID cancellations. And so this brings up some interesting questions. How will the rest of the season look, especially if some teams never play? How will you even out the standings? Okay, so earlier this week I talked to Andy Collier, the Middale Athletic Director, about this very thing, and here is what he had to say.
To answer your question, every day is a new day. Every week is a new week. Who knows if the OSSA is going to come back with a different playoff platform or this and that. But I will tell you that the thing that's going to happen in the last 5 weeks of the season that's going to be different than any year that we've ever seen in football is you're going to see multiple games played in 1 week. For instance, I guess on Monday night, Putnam City North played Deer Creek. They won that game. They were supposed to turn around and play on Saturday against Lawton before Lawton had its situation, and then turn around on Thursday of next week and play Del City. So what you're going to see is these teams that need to make up games, there's no extra weeks within the season, and so you're going to start using games during the week. And so there's going to be teams, and we're going to be one of them, that is going to have to turn around and play maybe 2-3 games in a 9-day span. So practice is going to be limited, and games are going to be picked up. That scares me to some extent based on injury and just the turnaround with bodies at a high level of football. But right now that's the only option we have. And so it will be a weird brand of football the last few weeks. Could be ugly and sloppy at times, less preparation. But at the same time, I think that with our athletes, we actually benefit from this because, without game planning us, it's very tough. Take Mikael Smith, for example. Without game planning him, he's going to get behind you 5-10 times a game.
Absolutely. Now, Northwest Class has already canceled 3 times, U.S. Grant twice. It's hard to see them making up all their games. Is there any chance some of those games might have to be in a forfeit?
No. And the reason why, and I guess yes and no. How about that? Because you're right, it's going to be difficult for them to make everything up. It may be even difficult for them to even play again. Right now, there's only been 1 game with an Oklahoma City public school, and that was PC North playing Grant. They got their 15 points. It's really not fair that everybody else doesn't get a chance at 15 points. So I anticipate either points being thrown out and it just going to wins and losses, or possibly I anticipate everybody getting in the playoffs that survives. In 6A2, the playoff is set up to where you have a week on, and then you have a week off prior to the state championship. Back in the day in Midwest City and Del City, you dreamed, and I don't even say dream. It was something you planned on, and that was practicing on Thanksgiving Day. Right now in 6A2, they take that week off. So I can see that if you put everybody that survives into the playoffs, you would still have that built-in extra week of playoffs. Do I know that for a fact? No, but I know there's going to have to be something done.
Right, of course. It's a very fluid situation. All right. Andy, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Tom, very interesting situation with all these cancellations.
It's just mind-blowing, and like I said, I officiate fast-pitch softball, and we had a lot of that this year, and a lot of schools played. So it's just it's a sign of the times. Is all you can say about it, and it's tough on the kids, especially the kids that are seniors.
Yes.
But it is what it is, and that's how we have to deal with it. So.
All right. Well, right now we are about to have our coin toss. And let's see if we can finally get our – do we have our intern down there? That's the question. This has kind of been something we've been dealing with for a while. But we want to have our coin toss sponsor pulled up anyway. That's All Rays Valet, where dry cleaning and laundry is an art. Arthur Broyles is the captain who goes out into the field. He is the permanent captain. D'Angelo Irvin is also a permanent captain. And then Colton Shorter and Kriston Friday boy, has he been playing well, are the other two captains for this week. All right. She got there a little late. Let's see if we can get audio.
Number 6.
Del City won the toss, and they have elected to defer.
So Del City is deferring.
Midwest City will receive. Eagles will kick off the first half.
Bombers will get the ball first. All right, Tom, how about your keys to the game?
All right, our keys to the game tonight are brought to you by Lassiter Drugs, serving the Middale area for over 50 years. The keys to the game, Del City's going to have to stop our run-pass option. It's one of the best I've seen in a while. They got to get their running backs. They got to get their running backs and receivers into the second level, because if Midwest City can stop them up front, it's going to be tough for them all night. Midwest City, we just got to make some extra points. Some game it's going to be costly for us not to make all our extra point tries, and then we've got to keep winning the turnover battle. We've been pretty good, and I hope they just keep improving on that.
All right, let's go ahead and take another quick break, and then we'll have the starting lineups, and then the game, Midwest City, Del City, the only big action in 6A District 2 class, or I should say 6A Class 2 District 1. You're watching Midwest City Bomber football on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Since 1908, Cameron University has served students from all over the world. With nearly 50 degrees in 2-year, 4-year, and graduate programs, we have something to inspire you. Health and wellness facilities plus a wide variety of clubs and activities will help you find your perfect fit. Small class sizes allow you to be yourself while discovering your future potential as part of the Aggie family. Come experience the Axe. Enroll today at www.cameron.edu.
Fallout Sports is your leader in team sports, specializing in outfitting the entire team with screen printing, embroidery, team sports uniforms using dye sublimation from start to finish. They are truly your one-stop shop. With over 13 years of experience, you can trust the job will be done right, with all work done in-house. Fallout Sports, 534 North Penn, phone 405-701-5933.
Welcome back to Midwest City Bomber football on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Starting lineups brought to you by Wiggy Plumbing, Heating, and Air. 405-732-6226. Tom.
Get Wiggy with it.
As we wait for the Bombers to come out into the field, here is their offensive starting lineups. D'Angelo Irving Jr. at quarterback. Had a very solid game against Lawton High. A couple interceptions that really weren't his fault, but he had 3 touchdowns in that game. Kriston Friday should be starting at running back. And we'll see either Xavier Lee Jackson or Dylan Seabach as a receiver or Dylan Seabach as tight end, along with 3 usual receivers, Andre Miles, Brian Wilson Jr., and Mikhail Smith, who's averaging about 27 yards per catch right now and has kept his 40-yard plays going. All right, the offensive line is Crump, Carmen, Colton Shorter, Faulkner, and Jaden DeShazo. On the defensive side, led by Mikhail Smith, a couple of interesting changes for you. Mikhail Smith, the Oklahoma State committed 1 cornerback, the safeties, Juwan Dancy and Brandon Wright. And the other cornerback is Artez Young, who's been playing better and better, and he will be starting at cornerback. He's a junior. He's one to watch for next year for sure. Also, Kassam Birdsong will be making his first start at one of the outside linebackers. Arthur Broyles, Kriston Friday, the 2 inside backers. Del City, by the way, is taking the field right now. That's why you start to hear some noise. Not Midwest City yet, but they're about to. LeJaden Long Jackson, who had a very good game against Lawton High 2 weeks ago, is the other outside linebacker. And then the linemen, Seabach, Cornegay, and Edwards. All right. Tom, as we wait for the Bombers to take the field, we can see the helmet is shaken. I mentioned Kriston Friday. It's amazing the season he's having as a linebacker. There are the Bombers, by the way. This game is so big for district standings, especially since so many games have been getting canceled. Like I said, it's the only game going on. If Midwest City can win, they will go to 2-0, tying Putnam City North and Stillwater. If they lose, they'll fall to 1-1, tied with Del City. They would lose a tiebreaker to Del City, and they'll be behind the 8 ball when it comes to, really, once again, they really want to get a seed higher than 4 this time because Bixby looks as good as ever.
Oh, absolutely. They're going to be the team to beat in 6A, too. And the main thing down here is just bragging rights. I know we lost to Del City our junior year on the last play of the game, and we felt that all year and got to hear about it all year from our buddies from across Sooner Road. So my senior year, we beat them 28-0. And so we were kind of proud of that and hope they can step up tonight.
Now, I'm sure Jim Darnell had something to say about that, who we'll be talking about later on in this broadcast at halftime. By the way, they had a ceremony to dedicate the stadium to Coach Darnell, and we're looking forward to taking a closer look at some of the new facilities here at Jim Darnell Stadium, which we will do at halftime. This game also is on Facebook, and the Facebook sponsor we want to tell you about real quick is Jazzercise 405 in Midwest City, the original dance party workout. Classes online or in person at 2839 South Douglas. All right. Well, I was talking about Kriston Friday. We'll mention him more later, but he continues to make plays for Midwest City. Right now, it's going to be the Bombers who are on defense first. They're going to kick off. I'm sorry, the Bombers are going to receive first. They are going to receive the kickoff from Del City.
Looks like number 82, Stanley Johnson's got the ball ready to kick it off.
Stanley Johnson's the kickoff guy. Receiving is a trio of Bombers. There it is on the far side. And taken down the 28-yard line. That's Brian Wilson Jr. with the return, and the Bombers will take over at that spot. D'Angelo Irvin Jr. is the quarterback. Let's talk about some key players for Midwest City on offense. Irvin had 292 all-purpose yards and 3 total touchdowns versus Lawton last week. Davion Franklin, he won't start at running back, but with Smiley out, we should see a lot of him. He had a good game, 9 attempts for 52 yards and limited action. And then Mikhail Smith, he has 27 yards per catch and has had a 40-yard catch in all 4 games. He is definitely one to watch.
Let's see if we can explode out of there early.
Instead, we see whistles, whistles, and then a flag that's usually on the offense.
They lined up off sides, what they did.
Good start for Bombers. Del City gives them 5 yards. Free 5 yards, 1st and 5. I feel like when you get 1st and 5, that's when you can really take a chance on 1st or 2nd down.
Just air it out.
So they'll be running play Friday up the middle. He lunges forward.
Didn't get much.
Gets to the 35. Now, one of the things we can tell you about Del City's last game against Stillwater is they were gashed by Stillwater's running attack. Stillwater ran up the middle early and often. Second and about 3 for Midwest City. Ball just north of the 35-yard line. Irvin out of the gun. Fires a pass. Wide open is Andre Miles. Down the middle goes Miles. He's got one man to beat before he's finally tripped up. Looked like, is that number 1 for Del City, I believe. That's Kanijah Thomas. Okay. Not have him on the depth chart, but we'll take care of that. But good play to start out. That replay, by the way, brought to you by Remax Cobblestone, who also does our kickoffs. No place like home, and who else to help you find it than Remax Cobblestone.
Nice 30-yard pass.
It's Friday again, left side. This time he's got a big hole. Friday may go.
He's taking
Kriston Friday, gets tackled just short of the end zone. Donovan Stevens, who also is committed to Oklahoma State, along with Mikhail Smith, saves the touchdown for now. And we got another replay by Remax Cobblestone. And, Tom, great start for the Bombers. 2 plays, and already they're about to score here.
That hole opened up, and he just took it to daylight. I think if he hadn't made a cut, he wouldn't have got caught from behind, but he didn't know who was back there. But that was still a good run.
1st and goal at the 1.
It's
Friday again, and it's an easy touchdown for the Bombers. Kriston Friday, who I've been talking about on defense, for all the times he gets the ball on defense, shows some things right there as a running back. Did not have a great game against Lawton High last week running the ball. He did have a great game as a linebacker, including a pick 6. Having a great game so far as a running back. And now here's those extra points that Tom was talking about. I believe this is Escobar kicking.
Looked pretty clean.
Yep. It is good. And the Bombers strike early and strike first. They lead 7-0. You're watching Middle City Bomber football on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
At Eskridge Honda, we go the Eskridge mile for our customers with great Hondas and clearance pricing. Save big during the Honda clearance and get a 2020 Honda Civic Sport sedan for just $179 per month. Online at eskridgehonda.com.
And we're back at Jim Darnell Stadium. Bombers lead 7-0 just like that, and they are set to kick off. This is the Remax Cobblestone kickoff. There's no place like home, and who else better to help you find it than Remax Cobblestone? As I set up here, we want to talk about our first quarter sponsor, a brand new one. That would be Beach Hut Nutrition. For a healthy meal replacement, come to Beach Hut Nutrition, 8123 Southeast 15th in Midwest City. We're very happy to have them aboard, and now we have all 4 of our quarter sponsors. Here's Escobar kicking off for Del City.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting, and that drive only took a minute and a half.
Yeah, more on that in a moment. Kickoff's fielded by the up man for Del City, and he's got a little bit of room there before he's finally brought down. I believe that was DeKalen Godwin. Jason Brown brings him down. Tom, how about that drive?
That drive was pretty impressive. Like I said, it just took a minute and a half. It's brought to you by Fallout Sports, Oklahoma's only in-house, fully customizable team uniform supplier. Sublimation is our specialty. Call 405-701-5933. That was just a 4-play, 72-yard with capping it with a Kriston Friday 1-yard run. And the extra point was good. So it's 7-0, Bombers.
Del City led by Jacoby Smith, who is a great multi-purpose quarterback. He can run and pass very well. He's going to run it here off the snap, and he lunges forward. Solid gain on first down right there before being brought down. Key defenders for Midwest City. Mikhail Smith, the Oklahoma State commit, with 23 tackles so far and a forced fumble. No interceptions yet because they're not throwing to him. Kriston Friday, though, he does have interceptions, 2 of them, including a interception returned for a touchdown against Lawton High. 35 tackles on the season. Jalen Long Jackson, he led the team in tackles for a loss. He had 4 tackles for a loss and 3 sacks against Lawton High. Here Smith runs around the middle again, and he gets a first down, and he gets into Midwest City Bomber territory. Broyles brought him down for Midwest City, but that's a little too easy there if you're the Bombers.
Yeah, they made a big hole in there. We had somebody reaching in, didn't quite get that arm tackle, but I think they'll work on that one because like you said, that looked too easy for him to get that many yards.
Of course, last year, you can't forget about what happened in very cold weather, the coldest game of the year. Del City beat Midwest City 26-7 convincingly, and Jacoby Smith was awesome that game, ran the ball over the field. He's going to throw it here, but that's before he gets hit. Can he get a throw off? And no, man, he eluded 2 or 3 tackles before they blow the play dead. I think he got out of bounds, but he lost yardage, so it's a sack for Midwest City. Arthur Broyles again, and he's off to a good start. Tell you, the strength of this team is their linebackers. When they can make plays in the backfield, that's usually what fuels this defense.
Yeah, that was really good just pursuit, and if one guy wasn't getting him a nut, somebody else was going to. Del City's now in a little bit of a hole.
Again, we're not seeing anyone in the backfield with Jacoby Smith. It's either going to be him running or him passing. It's 2nd and long right now, and he's going to run it again. This time the Bombers meet him near midfield, so it's going to be 3rd and long coming up. He did not get back to the original line of scrimmage, which is at the 47-yard line. Arthur Broyles continues to get his name called with another tackle, and it's 3rd and long.
And he only got about 4 yards on that, and that's going to be tough when you've got 3rd and long when we've got this kind of coverage against them.
So we are yet to see Del City throw the ball. We expect to see that here, but still, if there's a path to take, Jacoby Smith will take it if he has to run it here. Third and long. Smith to pass. Fires over the middle.
Intercepted.
And it's intercepted. Bomber football on the left sideline. He cuts it near the middle, goes back to the 38-yard line. I believe that's Juwan Dancy.
It's 7? Yes, sir. Number 7.
Juwan Dancy, who had an interception return in the final play of the first half against Noble. That was only 2 games ago, 4 weeks ago, but 2 games ago. I got to say, this is unbelievably different than last year. They are taking it to the Eagles so far, still early. Replay, of course, brought to you by Remax Cobblestone. But that worked out well for the Bombers. Once they made Jacoby Smith throw the ball, that was to their favor.
Yeah, he got rushed on that. They had a little pressure on him and paid off for the Bombers.
Bombers going to go with a tight end right here. That's, I believe, number 36, Bryson Spriggs. They like his talent. But they didn't like the play they called, so they take a timeout. And we'll take a quick break as well. You're watching Midwest City Bomber football on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Hudiburn, the dealership Oklahomans can count on.
Why can you count on them?
Because they give their customers more. Oklahoma is growing, and Hudiburn is growing too, with 5 different brands and thousands of new and used vehicles.
Hudiburn, 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 Hudiburn.
Wow! It's been 60 years and Hudiburn is still here. You can count on Hudiburn. We'll give you more.
Hudiburn.com.
You can count on Hudiburn. We'll give you more.
The timeout for the Bombers. Irvin to pass. Fires down left sideline. Has a Del City player closest to it. It's incomplete. He overthrew his receiver there. Mikael Smith, of course, the intended target. And Del City's going to give Mikael Smith a lot of attention.
Yeah, that number 23, that was pretty good coverage.
That's C.J. Plunkett.
Mr. Plunkett, yes, sir.
You definitely expect both teams to have plenty of players who can run. It's just a matter of timing the run very well.
Yep, he was with him stride for stride and was actually in better shape to catch the ball.
2nd down. This is Kriston Friday. Boise running well right now as he gets a first down.
And then some.
And then some to about the 25-yard line.
A couple of yards after contact. That's impressive.
DeJuan Hawkins brought him down for Del City. And I forgot to mention something last time Bombers got close. Let's see if they can get it close again. Ball's marked at the 26-yard line, 1st and 10. And then once again, Del City is looking vulnerable against the run. Expect no mercy from the Bombers. Again, it's Friday.
He just
lunges for about 3 on the play.
He's churning up the yards.
But
They can't bring him down.
There's a flag on the play. Darius Hampton got him down.
Sideline warning.
Now, did they motion to Del City? Yes, they did. So it's a flag that doesn't really change anything. Not the down, not the distance. It remains second down. And you got to the 16, so second down and about 8. Irvin again back to pass. Holds on to it. Makes a man miss. Cuts it back up the middle. And then he's brought down. That's going to be a sack. Took a lot of Del City Eagles to bring him down. And that's going to set up 3rd and long.
Maybe lost a yard.
3rd and 9. Bombers.
Yeah, so what's 2nd and 8? It'll be about 3rd and 9. Savon Cephas brought him down for Del City.
Yeah, I noticed their backs. They've got some pretty tall kids, 6'1", 6'2" for D-backs, and they're pretty much stepping up in there too on this series.
3rd down.
Oh,
interesting. They run the ball on 3rd down. It's Friday.
They'll probably go for it here, I would think.
There's a flag. Oh, that's a late flag. Savon Cephas brings him down again, but the flag, that's a personal foul in Del City. It'll be a 1st down, or we're looking at a 4th and long if it's after the play. The referees are conferencing right now.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of chipping going on, like on the initial kickoff and a couple other plays. And it's going both ways, but you expect that out of this rivalry.
Yeah, the players, they know each other. Some of them have played with each other in middle school, a lot of them against each other in middle school, and, of course, the last several years.
Summer baseball, flag football when they were little, a lot of them played on the same team.
Some of them basketball. Oh, it's against the Bombers.
Both ways.
Maybe it goes both ways.
Personal foul on both teams, offsetting penalties.
Yeah, when they
So was that during the play? Is it still 3rd down? That's the question. They haven't marked as 3rd down, so
it should be 3rd down.
So the penalties, I guess they took place during the play. Well, that's actually good for the Bombers. They get to redo 3rd down here. But they were willing to run the ball and face 4th and about 7 or 8. This time they pass. Irvin about to get hit. He senses it. He starts to take off. He gets the first down, and he's inside the 15. Boy, was that good timing. I thought he was about to get laid out.
That guy was on him.
Cephas
he was
tackle.
close. That big guy would have crushed him. He had some good wheels on that.
And now, Red Zone, Triple Elite. Find world-class designs and hot new styles at Triple Elite. I tell you, that's the, I don't know if you call it the wild card, the X Factor, whatever you want to call it. D'Angelo Irvin's runs on 3rd and long. He had one against Lawton High, and you see it there.
And that was quite timely.
Well, yeah, you mentioned the RPO. Worked to their favor there. Irving's going to, they hand it off right side, not going anywhere. Del City shuts it down. It'll be 2nd down. That was a run play to Brian Wilson Jr.
Well, they might even count that as a pass because he kind of pitched it forward to him.
It was like a jet toss.
Exactly. Let's see. We still got a long ways to go.
Yeah, Del City was ready for it. Friday's still the running back. Have not been on the field very much for defense. Friday up the middle.
Oh, he ran into the.
Del City clogged that hole up pretty well.
Yep, and he ran into it. He's going to be close.
Kane's about 1 at the play at most. They lost yards last play, so we're looking at 3rd and 11.
3rd and 11.
Ooh.
See if TJ can make some plays with his legs again. Ball is marked at the 13-yard line.
Well, it wouldn't be too bad to have that reverse that we've kept in our back pocket.
Bombers can get a first down without scoring a touchdown here.
Yep, here comes Brian Wilson Jr. That's who he's looking for.
Irvin looking left side. That's still in Seabuck out in the flat. He's far from the end zone. Takes a couple Eagles to bring him down, but they do. And it's fourth down.
There goes.
Kanijah Thomas brought him down. What does Midwest City do? They have not attempted a field goal.
They're going to.
When I say kick, they have not attempted one. This is their first, I believe, their first field goal attempt. Now, did they have a short one against Westmore?
I thought they did against Westmore.
I
think it was Escobar that did it then, too.
Well, this would be a nice bonus here. This is off a turnover here. If they can make it a two-score game. Kick is up, has the distance.
It's good.
And it's good. And the Midwest City Bombers are up 2 scores already on Del City. They lead 10-0. You're watching Midwest City Bomber football on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Honda, we go the Eskridge mile for our customers with great Hondas and clearance pricing. Save big during the Honda clearance and get a 2020 Honda Civic Sport sedan for just $179 per month. Online at eskridgehonda.com.
Welcome back to Midwest City Bomber football. The Bombers just kick a field goal to go up 10-0 against the Del City Eagles. And here's the RE/MAX Cobblestone kickoff. There's no place like home. And who else better to help you find it than RE/MAX Cobblestone? Well, Elijah Escobar with the first made field goal for Midwest City. And he will now get to kick off for the Bombers. But very encouraging. You talk about extra points. It's also good to make those medium-range field goals. Very short kick there. And they're going to call a penalty. We thought maybe they would attempt an onside kick or something. Is that what you're?
I was wondering how far the field goal was.
Oh, sorry. Let's see. I think they kicked it from the 11, so they make it about a 28-yard. They snapped the ball at the 11, so usually had about 17 yards to that.
Yep.
Tom, that drive.
Drive brought to you by Fallout Sports, Oklahoma's only in-house fully customizable team uniform supplier. Sublimation is our specialty. Call 405-701-5933. Got a field goal after a 9-play, 38-yard drive. Put the Bombers on top with Elijah Escobar kicking that ball, making a great kick to get our first field goal of the year, or second, perhaps.
Now Del City will bring in a running back. They didn't use one the first drive. It's L.J. Brown. Smith will keep it, though. He has to elude a rusher. Then he can't the second time. That's a sack for Midwest City. It looks like L.J. Yep. But Jalen Long Jackson, that's his fourth sack in 2 games. There's a RE/MAX replay.
About a 6-yard loss on that. That's awesome.
He told me he loves blitzing, especially compared to pass coverage. Blitzing is his jam, if you will. Smith with Brown in the backfield. We haven't seen a handoff for him yet. It's second down.
There he goes.
He'll get it here. And Midwest City converges on him. Broyles is there. Boy, quite a big scrum going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of black shirts. That's all Bombers wrapping him up. That was a great job.
Brandon Wright was there. And I'll set up a third down. And I think Jacoby Smith for Del City, he can throw the ball, but you still want to put him in throwing situations because he's so dangerous with his legs. And L.J. Brown's a very good running back as well. So, again, this is true for most teams. You want to get him in third and long. Smith now alone in the backfield. And he will step back to throw.
He's getting pressured out. He's out of the pocket.
Flush to the right. And he throws it, and it's low, well short of his intended receiver. There was a receiver in the area, so it's just an incomplete pass. Well defended by the Bombers. That's a 3-and-out.
And that's more pressure on him in the backfield. That he can't do it under pressure. Bombers got to keep pressure on him all night, and they're doing a good job of it so far.
The punter for Del City is their quarterback, Jacoby Smith. So you always got to be careful, but this is 4th and 13. You would expect a punt here. Brian Wilson Jr. would be the return man if we do indeed see a punt. He's coming closer to the field now. And again, we've seen plenty of this. Quarterbacks who punt, it kind of keeps the punt coverage honest. Had to get a quick out one there. This is a good punt. It bounces at the 20, and it's fielded by Del City, so that's about where Midwest City will take over. At the 20, their third possession. Sherrod Davis fielded that for the Eagles.
Well, we had some guys up in there with their hands up. He's lucky to get that off.
Well, Tom, I mean, and you weren't here for that Del City game last year, but you were watching some of it, I know, because you texted me during the game. And this is just a completely different look here for the Bombers.
Yeah, it was sad last year, but, you know, the thing is, a lot of those guys are out there now. They didn't forget it. And they're playing with a lot of heart out there and getting it done. Let's hope they can keep it up.
Davion Franklin is now in a running back, giving Kriston Friday a rest. Irvin, fixed handoff to him. Short pass left side. And look, he can't quite turn the corners of the receiver, so it will be second and long there.
We didn't get a blocker out there to kind of throw that screen.
Yeah,
Not that we're supposed to.
C.J. Plunkett for Del City made sure that play didn't go any further. It was a gain of less than 1. Brian Wilson Jr. with the reception. The big play that got Midwest City going was a long pass down the middle to Andre Miles. Let's see if they target him again. 2 receivers on the right side, lined up close by. Irvin giving his instructions to Franklin. Hands it off to Franklin, and Franklin gets tackled in the backfield. Good defense by Del City, and 3rd and long is coming up.
I think they had that play from our playbook because they had 3 guys in the hole that time.
For 3rd down, Xavier Lee Jackson will come on as a receiver. John Adams and Andre Miles are lined up right side, trips to the right. Let's see if one of them gets a release to go long. Third and 12. Irvin to throw. Goes for the first down. Has a man, and it's just incomplete.
Again, they had good
coverage.
Defense. Good defense on that. Yeah, I think we might be punting this time. What do you think?
Yes.
That was not the prettiest series we've had, but
Brian Wilson Jr., the intended receiver. Well, Midwest City continues to keep D'Angelo Irvin as their punter. He angles his punts very well. He doesn't get a ton of distance on him, but we'll see what he can do here. This is no doubt a punting situation. Tries to get Del City offsides, though. Now he'll step back. And this is a good punt, but it will be fielded. Fielded by Davis for Del City. And good open
nice
field
hit.
tackle there. Sherrod Davis with the return. Good field position. P.J. Wilson showing off his defensive skills with the tackle. So Del City's down 10-0, and I think what we've seen here is field position effect. When Midwest City took a 10-0 lead, they attempted some type of strange kickoff that resulted in good field position for Del City. Del City pinned Midwest City to the 20, got a 3-and-out. Now they got the ball back in great field position. Ball at the Midwest City 41.
Yeah, they're on our side. We don't need that.
Smith hands it off to the other running back for Del City, who's tackled in the backfield. The running back, Virgil Yates, had nowhere to go. And that was Brandon Wright with a tackle. Remax Cobblestone replay. Great play by Brandon Wright.
Yeah, absolutely. He wrapped him up, and that guy wasn't going anywhere. Hats off to Mr. Wright. Good job.
So the Bombers defense, they gave up a first down on a couple of Jacoby Smith's runs. The first series for Del City, and after that they have really tightened up. Interception and a 3-and-out, and a 2nd and long here. Smith throws to the flat and finds his man open. That's number 14 for Del City, Jakeo Mitchell.
They only got a couple of yards. They can't do that and try to get a first down.
And they gained about 5 on that play. 3rd and 8. I think what that kind of does here is the first quarter, by the way, is close to ending. We're at 47 seconds. But it definitely puts Del City in 2-down territory here if they don't get the first down here. There's Smith, throws long. Oh, he has his man. It's caught.
Great catch.
And he's making it hard to bring him down. Friday comes in late to finish the tackle, but that's Davion Mukes, the tight end H-back.
That was a great catch on his part, too, because he jumped up there and just took it. This will probably be the last play of the quarter.
So the first big play on offense for Del City. Clock's now 20 seconds in the first. They run the ball left side. That's Yates with a carry.
Didn't get much.
Kriston Friday brought him down, adding to his leading tackle total. And that will be the last play of the first quarter. So a successful first quarter for the Midwest City Bombers. They lead Del City by a score of 10-0, but the Eagles are threatening to get back in this game. You are watching Midwest City Bomber football on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Since 1908, Cameron University has served students from all over the world. With nearly 50 degrees in 2-year, 4-year, and graduate programs, we have something to inspire you. Health and wellness facilities plus a wide variety of clubs and activities will help you find your perfect fit. Small class sizes allow you to be yourself while discovering your future potential as part of the Aggie family. Come experience the Axe. Enroll today at www.cameron.edu.
And we're back with Midwest City Bomber football on the Oklahoma Sports Network. We're in the second quarter now. This quarter is brought to you by PetVet, located on Lockheed and Southeast 15th. When you drive from Midwest City High School to Jim Darnell Stadium, you drive by PetVet, and they're dedicated to ensuring your pet leads the happiest, healthiest life possible. Drop by PetVet. You need a pet or you need a vet for your pet? Call PetVet. A bit of a tongue twister. Del City,
quarterback
Jacoby
keeper.
Smith on the keeper.
Good call. Somebody's helmet came off.
And the Bombers were ready for that. They limit his running there. It's going to be 3rd down coming up.
Yep, number 4's got to come out because he lost his helmet, so they're going to have to substitute for him.
I didn't catch it. Number 4 for Del City?
No, for Midwest City.
Oh, that's Arthur Broyles.
Yeah,
well, that's not good.
Yeah, he lost his helmet, so he's got to come out one play.
Hopefully they won't miss him this play. They like having him every play.
Yes, sir. High snap.
Smith,
oh,
high snap.
Get him.
Bombers are ready for it.
Got
It's
him in
going
the
to be 4th
backfield.
down.
The whistle's blowing.
Shamar Edwards is there, and we'll see what Del City does. A field goal will be helpful for them. Obviously, they were thinking touchdown a couple plays ago. This is not 4th and short. Stanley Gordon also there for the tackle.
Maybe they can try to get him to jump.
Interesting call. They are going to go for it. It's not 4th and real long, but it's not 4th and short either. 4th and 6. I always called that 4th and medium.
They're wanting to jump off sides. They're trying to get him to jump off sides. He's going to call timeout, I think.
Smith, Brown in the backfield.
They're about to run out of time. Better call timeout.
There's a timeout.
Yep.
It is called by Del City. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Middle City Bomber football on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
At Eskridge Honda, we go the Eskridge Mile for our customers with great Hondas and clearance pricing. Save big during the Honda clearance and get a 2020 Honda Civic Sport sedan for just $179 per month. Online at eskridgehonda.com.
Back with Midwest City Bomber football on the Oklahoma Sports Network. And now Del City is showing field goal here. Their field goal kicker is Stanley Johnson. Looked pretty solid on the kickoffs. And we'll see about accuracy here. Also see if the Bombers can block it.
It's got a pretty good angle.
Left-footed kicker.
Nice placement.
Gets a kick with distance on it.
It's good.
And the kick is good. So we've seen 2 field goals here towards the east end zone, one by each team. And Midwest City takes a 10-3 lead, or now has a 10-3 lead on Del City. You are watching Midwest City Bomber football on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
MM7 Sports Cards is your trading card and sports memorabilia store. Located just off I-35 and more, we carry a large variety of sports cards, old and new. We also have unique memorabilia for your office or your man cave. So come see us today. We are always buying, trading, talking, all things sports. MM7 Sports Cards, 2308 North Broadway, or check us out online at mm7sportscards.com.
Welcome back to Midwest City Bomber football. We're about to see a Remax Cobblestone kickoff here. Stanley Johnson did his job for Del City, made the field goal, and it's now 10-3. Eagles lead the Bombers. Well, basically, we'll get to this. We'll get more on this in a moment here, but this was a drive keyed by one play, one throw up the middle there, and good field position. There's Brian Wilson for Midwest City. He gets a charge and gets past the 30-yard line before finally being brought down. All right, Tom, how about that field goal drive?
That scoring drive is brought to you by Fallout Sports, Oklahoma's only in-house fully customizable team uniform supplier. Sublimation is our specialty. Call 405-701-5933. That was a 7-play, 41-yard drive, capped off with that Stanley Johnson 26-yard field goal. It is now 10-3. Bombers are still ahead with 10:30 to go in the second quarter.
Basically, it was one big pass play by Jacoby Smith. Otherwise, Midwest City's defense did pretty good considering they had bad field position to start out that drive. Here's Andre Miles in motion. Hand off to Kriston Friday, left side. He bumps one man, and he's being a load right now as he lunges to the 40. He wanted the 40. He got the 40.
The scrum was moving. He had a couple of big old linemen pushing that pile, too.
I tell you, is he not like the most improved player on this team, Kriston Friday, when you think about what he's done on defense?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, sir.
I can't forget to mention his best play on defense wasn't even the pick six 2 weeks ago against Lawton. It was when he just took the ball from a Lawton player. Happened so fast, the refs blew the play dead, and they shouldn't have. He should have had a long return with that, and it got called back.
Yeah, we were all scratching our head. I had to ask Coach Hall what happened.
There's Friday again, left side. He's not quite to the first down yet. He's got to get to about the 43-yard line.
He's going to be close.
That's going to be close.
At a yard.
David Stone, a very talented freshman for Dale City, brings him down. Mike Dunn, the coach for Dale City, really loves his potential.
And he's a freshman. He's a big boy. He's 6'4", 250 as a freshman.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Actually, Midwest City has activated a freshman, Coach Hand's son. I think he'll have a bright future with this team, too. Brian Wilson in motion. Handoff is to Friday, and Friday does a good job seeing the hole. He gets a first down to the 45-yard line. Running along the right side there.
Powered through 2 guys and got that first down. You can do that all night. Just keep running that clock and start getting ahead.
Bombers will make a couple of offensive line changes here. I'll tell you, it's an interesting situation for Midwest City. If Friday keeps running well, you want him in the game on offense. What do you do on defense? I think he can still play defense, but he's got to get gassed at some point.
He's one of those studs that keeps going.
He gets the ball here. They are riding him right now. He gains about 3 on the play. Gets to about the 49-yard line. Takes a few different Eagles to bring him down. And it's 2nd and 7.
He's getting some good blocking up front, but it's hard to move those big boys Dale City's got on the front line.
This is definitely one thing they could not do last year against Dale City was run the ball with their running backs. They're doing it here so far. Again, Miles in motion. Irvin to throw this time. Looking for Smith, and almost intercepted. Again, good coverage for Dale City.
Smith ended up being a defender on that, and we'd had interception. Yeah. What?
Late flag there. I think that's Sherrod Davis on the coverage, and he was jawing at Smith.
Well, he was mouthing off earlier. Yeah, he got busted. He's going, what? He's got his hands, what? Yeah, coach is good. He's going to bring him off and let him know he made a mistake. And he'll discuss it with him.
I'll tell you this, you're not as likely to see Mikhail Smith retaliate like that. He's a more quiet kid, and it works to your advantage sometimes.
Going to result in a first down.
Yep, because it's unsportsmanlike, that will be a first down for Midwest City. Boy, that's got to frustrate you if you're a coach. Of course, we've seen this from both sides. Bombers players have done in the past, but I think those type of penalties have been much fewer for Midwest City this year. They did have some holding penalties called, but not yet in this game. They had some holding penalties called against Lawton High.
Yeah, but last year we had a lot of personal foul calls that just shot us in the foot for a lot of the games.
Mikhail Smith still in the game, another two-way player. Lined up on the left side, outside receiver, Andre Miles, the inside receiver, left side to Irvin, who's been steady this game. Irvin, again, throws to Smith. Smith has plenty of open lane there.
He's got 3 guys.
Tries to get 2 or 3 guys to miss. Gets inside the 30.
He put some pretty good moves on him.
Thomas brings him down for Dale City. I mean, Smith, because they respect his deep ability so much, again, he's had a 40-yard catch every game so far, that he's going to have room to do that. That's a play they could go to a lot, where he could just cut it. He just cuts in the middle of his route and comes back to the quarterback. Midwest City shifts here. Irvin. Handoff to Friday, and Friday gets tackled for a loss here at the 30.
You're going to lose a couple on that one. We needed a little better surge on that.
DeJuan Hawkins gets him, and we're looking at 3rd down. 3rd and 4 coming up. Well, that's a good defensive stop there for Dale City because Friday had been getting the better of them this drive. Now it's an interesting situation. I don't think you're in field goal range yet, so do you have 4th down in mind with this play call?
Well, I think we do because I know we're explosive enough, and Coach knows that it can work. There he goes.
Hand it off to Friday. Friday gets through the front line of Dale City's defense. He gets inside the 10. Helmet comes flying. Once again, Friday gets brought down at the 1-yard line.
That was pretty awesome. That hole opened up. Give those linemen a credit. They opened a hole he could get through, and once he got through there, he was gone. That one quick hit caught him on the backside. Was it number 2?
Yeah, that's replay brought to you by RE/MAX Cobblestone. Also, this is a Red Zone Triple Elite. Find world-class designs and hot new styles at Triple Elite. So the ball's actually marked at the 2-yard line. Irvin is going to keep it.
Untouched.
He's going to go in untouched for a Bomber touchdown.
How about them Bombers, baby?
And this will be their biggest lead of the game now. They go up 13 with an extra point pending. Boy, Irvin had a big hole. That offensive line for the Bombers is getting the job done, which I know you like. Some confusion for Midwest City. It looks like they're, I don't know if they have a personnel issue when it comes to, they may have a player missing. Yeah.
That's not going to go over well with Coach, I can promise you. You better hurry up and get over there.
Iron Wagner comes out to join the extra point team. Yeah, you don't want anyone missing along that line. And that's why it got blocked.
They got blocked.
There's a flag. And that's what happens when you're not ready. You need your offensive lineman ready, and the coaches for Midwest City are frustrated. They're calling for someone to come out there. This might be worth calling a timeout. It's the first half after all. If they get to redo it. Yeah, it's a...
And I think he's going to put in the offense.
Well, when a personal foul gets
Yes,
called, that should be half the distance. The ball should be moved to the 1, should it not? So that makes going for 2 a tempting situation, especially given how easy Midwest City has run the ball their last 2 plays. They're going to have Franklin in as a running back. They overload to the right side, it looks like.
I'm betting a pass.
Irvin, it is to Franklin, and boy, that play got eaten alive.
I got blown up right at the start. Well, that was all right.
A little surprising there, but so no point after there for Midwest City. Still, they lead 16-3. Jason Smith got the tackle for Del City. We'll be back in a moment with more Midwest City Bomber football on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
It's a calling that's kept us free. It's a place to belong. What's the calling? It's doing a job that makes a difference. Serving your community and your country. It's part-time service where the impact is full-time. What's your calling? Air Force Reserve.
Back we are with Midwest City Bomber football on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Another RE/MAX Cobblestone kickoff. There's no place like home, and who else better to help you find it than RE/MAX Cobblestone. Tom, that drive.
Scoring recap brought to you by Fallout Sports, Oklahoma's only in-house fully customizable team uniform supplier. Sublimation is our specialty. Call 405-701-5933. That was a 10-play, 67-yard drive with D'Angelo Irvin going in untouched. Missed extra point, so it's 16-3 Bombers with 6:30 to go.
This is KT Caden Thompson to kick off here for Midwest City. They're still alternating kickers.
Nice kick.
Solid kickoff will be inside the 20, fielded by Del City. And brought down the 25-yard line.
Pretty good coverage.
That's Thomas with the return. Good tackle there by Jamie Watts, senior special teams player, linebacker at times as well.
Yeah, that's a great field position to have them in. Instead of giving them up close to the 50-yard line, at least we got them inside the 25. So,
and there comes Kriston Friday in at linebacker. And I only say that because he's been working a lot as a running back, so it's going to be interesting to see what kind of stamina he has. But he's getting more and more used to this, obviously, playing both sides of the ball consistently.
getting in pretty good shape, I would think.
He's one of the inside backers. Back to pass, Jacoby Smith fires. Ooh.
I don't know
was
who
well read there.
I think he was throwing that to a cheerleader. I don't know.
Incomplete, 2nd and 10. We're at 6:20 left to go. Midwest City has definitely been outplaying the Eagles so far. 16-3. They've had more big plays on offense. 2 long Kriston Friday runs to set up 2 short touchdown runs. Also a long pass play to Andre Miles that got things going. Del City looks to get Jacoby Smith going.
Keeps it.
This time he'll keep it right side and makes a man miss, and he'll get a first. No, they'll get close to a first down.
I think they're going to give it to him. Let's see what he's. Well, it's going to be close.
Brought down about the 33-yard line.
Going to be short, just short.
It's going to set up a 3rd and short.
That's pretty good running.
Jackson got him.
That's pretty good running on his part. He was wrapped up, and they just ran through it.
You see big Kanan Love, number 78, coming in as a nose guard for Midwest City. We'll see if he can hold down the middle here on 3rd and short. You don't want to face 4th down in your own territory at this point. So we'll see what Del City can do. Smith, again, keeping it like he's a Wildcat quarterback, and that's going to be close.
Right on the line.
I think he's
They're
got
looking.
it, though, but it's close.
Not where he's sitting. Let's see where they mark. No.
This may be get measured. We may see the chain game.
Nope, he's giving it first down.
No, giving him the first down. You're right.
It was close.
Well, you couldn't ask for much better defense there on a Wildcat type play. Basically, that's what Del City's been doing. They run a Wildcat, meaning the quarterback runs the ball. It's a design quarterback run, and there's really no running back in the backfield aligned with him to hand the ball off to or behind him. This is not that situation right here. He's got a running back, L.J. Brown, with him. And L.J. Brown gets on handoff. L.J. Brown gets that second level. He might be gone. L.J. Brown down the right side. We knew he was dangerous. He shows it there as he gets the Del City touchdown. And that's the first real bad breakdown for Midwest City's defense this game. And now it's 16-9. There is no penalty. And Midwest City's got to have a long, tough walk to set up for an extra point block. Well, you can hear guys fast, but you really don't know it until you see it, and they saw it there.
Yep, and a couple of guys, he ran through them. If they'd got him wrapped up, he wouldn't have got all that yardage.
You just hold it like this, and you don't need to flash.
Learning with DR. Finals, baby! You know I got this!
I got an A! Nailed it!
We did it! Rose State College. Going somewhere starts here.
Welcome back to Midwest City Bomber football on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Midwest City leads Del City 16-10. Next week, next Thursday, we get to go to Deer Creek, my favorite place to call a game away from here. Of course, Jim Darnell Stadium is my favorite place overall. The game will have a pregame at 6:30 again because of fall break. That is a Thursday game. Hopefully, it will be played.
And they have an elevator and bathrooms upstairs. We like their facilities.
And open windows. I love open windows.
Get on the ball, get on the ball.
The kick is muffed by Midwest City, the Remax Cobblestone kickoff, but the Bombers recover. However, they will have the ball deep in their own territory.
See, about the 19.
Tom, how about that drive for Del City?
Scoring recap brought to you by Fallout Sports, Oklahoma's only in-house fully customizable team uniform supplier. Sublimation is our specialty. Call 405-701-5933. That was a 4-play, 76-yard drive. Capped off by a 66-yard run by Mr. Brown, and it's our score up to 16-10 with 4:59 left.
Still a lot of time left to go in the second quarter. Kriston Friday in the game of running back. They fake it to him. Short pass to Mikael Smith, and Smith, he had one. He could have gone past that last tackler. He may have been gone for a while, but he gets tackled by number 3 for Del City. That's L.J. Brown, the running back who just scored a touchdown. He didn't get arrested very long.
That was still a great design play.
Yeah, he
Kudos
got
to
a
the
first
coaches.
down.
Yeah.
So it was a great play.
It was well designed.
It's just when Mikael Smith catches it, I want to see him go 40 yards because he's like the 40-yard man.
He'll get there.
He'll get there, yeah.
Give him time.
Dell City's, they are playing way off of him, of course. It's Friday right side, and Friday lunges forward past the 35.
You got about 3.
He causes a scrum. Takes a few Eagles to get him down, but they got him down, gain of 3, like you said. 2nd and 7.
He's running hard in there. It's like you said, you hope you don't wear her down, but I think he's it looks like he's in pretty good shape. He's still pounding that line pretty hard.
Well, the thing is, Midwest City knew last week after their win against Lawton High, they weren't going to have a game the following week. So I don't know if that it's nice to practice that way when you know you're going to have a week off. Fakes a short pass to Irvin. Launches one. This is Andre Miles. And Miles catches it, but he's out of bounds. Then he didn't end up catching it. He had it in his hands, but, of course, it wouldn't have counted if he did hold on to it because he was out of bounds.
That was pretty, though.
Well, we've seen Irvin make some good medium-range throws, and a couple of deep throws were online. He just couldn't complete them yet, but they have tried. They have been trying to establish the deep ball to go along with the Kriston Friday run game. Just haven't been able to connect just yet. Now it's a big 3rd down here. I mean, it's not 3 and out if you don't get one here because they got a first down the first play of this drive, but still, you don't want to give the ball back to Del City so quickly if you can help it. And this time there's tight coverage on Mikael Smith, lined up near side. Irvin fakes standoff, gets a good block from Kriston Friday, makes a man miss. Can he make another man miss? Lunges towards the first down, and great tackle for Del City. They keep him just from getting a first down. That's Jason Smith. That's the open field tackle that can, make the difference between winning and losing. And the Bombers are going to bring in some new players that you would see in punt coverage as it's 4th and 1. And, I mean, it's just still you're inside your own territory. You're close to midfield, but.
Yeah, Jason Smith just made a great tackle on that. That's all a person can say because he had the first down if he could run through him, but he wrapped him up.
So do they try to draw him off sides here? This is when you might try to draw him off sides, use a timeout. Maybe you'll run a play. There's a timeout that's going to be called.
By Del City.
There's a timeout by the Eagles. All right, this will be interesting to see when we come back. We're watching Midwest City Bomber football on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
At Eskridge Honda, we go the Eskridge mile for our customers with great Hondas and clearance pricing. Save big during the Honda clearance and get a 2020 Honda Civic Sport sedan for just $179 per month. Online at eskridgehonda.com.
Welcome back to Midwest City Bomber football on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Coming up at halftime, a few things. We will be talking about the game. Of course, we'll have a song by the marching band from Midwest City, and we'll show you a video of a tour that Mid-Dell Athletic Director Andy gave to me, Andy Collier. Me and our carefree camera operator, Tavion Devereaux. Looking forward to that video. We'll talk some more about your old football coach, Jim Darnell, as well.
Yes, sir.
4th down now. DJ stepping back, stepping forward. He could punt, he could run, he could throw. What will he do? We just know this. He's going to get the snap. He's going to run. Can he get to the edge?
He did.
Yes, he can. He's going to have a first down.
He may
He's
get
going to get inside the 40 before finally being pushed out of bounds. Love the aggressiveness. Kanaja Thomas got him out of bounds, but a big first down for the Bombers. Here's a Remax replay for you. You can see he had a lot of space on the outside once he made the first man miss, Tom.
Oh, he definitely put on the Jets, and he ran through that tackle.
I tell you this, it's timely running. He has made some big runs and big moments. The rush yards They're not, they're pretty good for a quarterback. It's not the total yards, it's when he does it. He had a 3rd and long run, and they're on 4th down inside your own territory. It is quite the gamble there for Coach Hall, but it came through. 1st and 10 now. It's Friday. Left side, makes the man miss. Down the middle he goes, and that should be in the 20. Inside the 20, it's right at the 20 it appears. Jacoby Smith, the quarterback, who does play some safety, brought him down. Yeah, Del City uses their quarterback on defense. That's similar to Muskogee last year. There's not too many other teams that will do that. Midwest City will not do that. Not this year anyway. I bet DJ could be a good tackler, but they got enough depth at those positions. They don't need him to do that. Handoff is to Friday.
Another run.
Friday,
nice,
boy,
nice.
He's a red zone warrior. So he gets to the 15, and this is a red zone triple elite opportunity for Midwest City. Find world-class designs and hot new styles at Triple Elite. 2:32 left to go as well. If you can keep running the ball and take some time off this clock, some more time, and score a touchdown, that would be a great feeling going into halftime.
Yeah, 2:21 left. They can do it.
It's Friday. This time he's met in the backfield.
Yeah, they had 2 guys that made a good stunt up the line and got in there and made the tackle.
Jalen Owens got him, and that'll force a 3rd and 5. And when you get in this situation, as Franklin will come in replacing Friday,
3rd down for the Bombers.
Do ask yourself, are they going to try a field goal again? They're close to where they kicked their last field goal, just on at the different end zone. Do they go for it? But the main thing they want is they want to get this 1st down right here so they don't have to think about it.
I want to see him throw a quick one to Austin Miles.
I mean Andre Miles.
Andre Miles. I think I called him Austin last year.
Irving looks to throw.
Oh, ball's up in the air. That's not a fumble, that's a pass.
And it's called incomplete. Well, that pocket collapsed in a hurry.
Yeah.
Well, so the situation I'm talking about, here it is. Go for it or kick a field goal is the options here.
I got to go for it here. If he had had more tries and was making them for longer distances, I might go ahead and take a chance. But
yeah, Escobar made, we called it a 28-yarder. From this spot, it would be 33, I believe. Mikhail Smith lined up on the outside. Irvin, his pass deflected. Del City converged on him quickly. They get a stop.
11-play drive.
So Midwest City gets the red zone opportunity that yields no points. And Del City will take over. They have 1:23 to go now. Del City burned at least a couple of timeouts. So if you're Midwest City, you feel like you should not be giving up a touchdown here. You just can't give up a big play to L.J. Brown like they did.
No, they can't. They can't give up a touchdown because Del City's going to start off with the ball in the second half.
Yep. So what can the Eagles do with a timeout? They run the ball to Brown. Brown again gets past that first level before he's finally brought down. That'll stop the clock temporarily.
Clock's running.
So Del City may have really found something here with L.J. Brown. They weren't trying to give him the ball much early in the game. That's definitely something that you would think the Bombers will talk about at halftime.
I guess that's a sideline warning for Midwest City.
Three receivers to the right for the Eagles.
Be a good time for a pick six.
Jacoby Smith along the backfield. He's going to throw unless he decides to run, which he will, but Midwest City kept him running laterally. Brian Wilson brings him down. Kriston Frade brings him down.
And they kept him in bounds, so if they're going to stop the clock, they're going to have to get him a timeout and burn that last timeout. But we're under a minute. It's ticking down.
So we might see the Bombers give up some underneath stuff here.
They look really confused. They're not getting the ball. They're
Clock's
wasting
still
time.
running. We're under 50 seconds.
Wasting a lot of time.
45 seconds. Down to 40. Smith
gonna run it.
Will keep it. He's got some blockers ahead of him. He gets into midfield. Kriston Friday brings him down at about the 48-yard line. Clock stops temporarily with 30 and 4/10 of a second to go. Del City's O-line starting to take control of this game. We'll see if they can do anything with this drive. Smith looking. Then he runs into the blitzer. Shamar Edwards. Well, it looked like he got hurt on that because Smith ran into him. It wasn't.
Yeah, it's kind of a crash.
Yeah, this, we have a Remax replay for you right there. And now a timeout is called.
Their last one. With 12.8 left.
Well, in theory, if you can get a first down around the 20 or 30 and spike the ball, you might have enough time to do that and kick a field goal. But I wouldn't be surprised, as we're obviously going to keep it here because we're about to get to halftime. I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe two Hail Mary plays here. Tell you, it's been an entertaining first half. We've seen teams step up both ways on offense and defense. A lot of Kriston Friday for Midwest City, especially as a running back. A little bit of Andre Miles and Mikhail Smith as well. D'Angelo Irvin's had a couple of very, I would call them clutch runs.
They're right at the 49, aren't they? Right on the Big Bomber Gold M.
Del City, we haven't seen much from their talented core of receivers. We might hear. Smith alone in the backfield. Throws it short. Del City's going to try to get some yards as if they want to attempt a field goal. They'll get close to the 41-yard line.
6.7 left. There's no spiking the ball on this one.
So it'll be third and about 3, but with 6 seconds to go. And Midwest City's content to give up plays of 10 yards or less.
Yeah, they've got the umbrella coverage out there in the back. The guys are way back, which is always a good time for an interception, too, if the quarterback doesn't throw it to the right spot.
Makes you think of what happened against Noble. If it happened once, why can't it happen again? Interception returned for a touchdown on a Hail Mary attempt. You won't see that very often. Smith runs to the right. He could throw if he wants.
He's not going to make it.
Makes Friday miss. Gets the throw off.
Ball.
Has a man. Jump ball. Batted down. Incomplete. Bombers do their job. And we are now at halftime. Your score, Midwest City 16, Del City 10. After a quick commercial break, we will have the Bombers, the Bomber Marching Band with the song. And then Tom and I will talk about the first half. And then we will show you a video of a tour I took with Andy Collier for the new facilities here at Jim Darnell Stadium. Sorry about that. You're watching Midwest City Bomber football on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Did you get that new F-150?
Yep.
Where'd you go?
Greg Darnell Ford.
How was it?
Darn good!
We've got darn good deals with 0% interest for 72 months on most 2020 models. F-150s as low as $459 a month. Escapes as low as $349 a month. Fusions as low as $319 a month.
There's a new sheriff in town, and I'm laying down the law on low prices.
Welcome back to Jim Darnell Stadium, Rose Field. And right now we are going to show you the Midwest City Bomber Marching Band. Enjoy.
Band.
And I want to thank the Mill City Marching Band. They did a great job right there. All right, we're going to take a longer commercial break, but we won't take too long. When we come back, Tom Carpenter and I will talk about the first half, and then we'll show you a tour of the new facilities I took with Andy Collier. That's coming up. Mill City Bomber football on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Since 1908, Cameron University has served students from all over the world. With nearly 50 degrees in 2-year, 4-year, and graduate programs, we have something to inspire you. Health and wellness facilities plus a wide variety of clubs and activities will help you find your perfect fit. Small class sizes allow you to be yourself while discovering your future potential as part of the Aggie family. Come experience the Axe. Enroll today at www.cameron.edu.
Can't wait to see this place.
All right, I got this app.
Would you like to tour the house?
Yes?
Please.
Would you like to tour the house?
We're here, dude. House for sale.
Home for sale.
Home for sale.
Home for sale. Home for sale.
We've got a home.
Available now.
Fallout Sports is your leader in team sports, specializing in outfitting the entire team with screen printing, embroidery, team sports uniforms using dye sublimation from start to finish. They are truly your one-stop shop. With over 13 years of experience, you can trust the job will be done right, with all work done in-house. Fallout Sports, 534 North Penn, phone 405-701-5933.
Did you get that new F-150?
Yep.
Where'd you go?
Greg Darnell Ford.
How was it?
Darn good!
We've got darn good deals with 0% interest for 72 months on most 2020 models. F-150s as low as $459 a month. Escapes as low as $349 a month. Fusions as low as $319 a month.
There's a new sheriff in town, and I'm laying down the law on low prices.
Hudiburn, the dealership Oklahomans can count on.
Why can you count on them?
Because they give their customers more. Oklahoma is growing, and Hudiburn is growing too, with 5 different brands and thousands of new and used vehicles.
Hudiburn, 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 Hudiburn.
Wow! It's been 60 years and Hudiburn is still here. You can count on Hudiburn. We'll give you more.
Hudiburn.com.
You can count on Hudiburn. We'll give you more.
MM7 Sports Cards is your trading card and sports memorabilia store. Located just off I-35 and more, we carry a large variety of sports cards, old and new. We also have unique memorabilia for your office or your man cave. So come see us today. We are always buying, trading, talking, all things sports. MM7 Sports Cards, 2308 North Broadway, or check us out online at mm7sportscards.com.
Hi, my name is Zach Knudsen. I'm an orthopedic surgeon in Oklahoma City. I'm a specialist in hip and knee preservation, in particular cartilage restoration, hip arthroscopy, minimally invasive procedures to try to salvage hips and knees and try to prevent them from going on to arthroplasty or joint replacement. Orthopedics is unique in that it is the ability to have somebody who's injured, their life has changed, and we fix them and they can go back to doing the things that they love.
I'm starting. Moving in. All right, everybody get in real quick.
You just hold it like this, you don't need to flash.
Learning with VR. Finals, baby! You know I got this!
I got an A. Nailed it.
We did it! Rose State College. Going somewhere starts here.
Welcome to halftime here at Jim Darnell Stadium, home of the Bombers, where Midwest City leads Dell City by a score of 16-10. And Tom, in that first half, what went well for Midwest City, they were able to run the ball.
Oh, yes, sir. And the thing is, we got the first punch. This is going to be like a prize fight, and I guarantee you they're going to be slugging it out to the end of the fourth quarter, but Midwest City getting out in front did not hurt.
Dell City had a long touchdown run towards the end of the second quarter. What should the Bombers be concerned about for the second half?
Well, there's a lot of times that their running backs are running through our arm tackles. We've got to get in front of them and knock those guys down. We've got a pretty good job containing them, but we're going to have to put some work in to stop them tonight.
That's right. All right. Earlier this week, I took our courageous camera operator, Tavion Devereaux, over there to some of the new facilities here at Jim Darnell Stadium where Middale Athletic Director Andy Collier took us on a tour. Here is that tour right now. All right, we're going to start right here with the brand new ticket booth. And Andy, talk about the ticket booth and what other construction needs to be done here at the stadium.
Well, we're close. Basically, everything, kind of starting off with what we lack. We lack the lettering behind on the facade, as well as a couple touch-ups with the swag shop and bathrooms underneath the home side. Other than that, we're ready, and hopefully Friday that will be a go. Starting off here, this is a brand new home ticket booth. If you remember, for many, many years, home ticket booth used to just be a little shed. This is a ticket booth that obviously has microphones and has the ability to eventually take cards, air conditioning in there, and hopefully will attract more workers.
All right, Andy, so we have this monument here, and this is right in front of the players' locker room. So when they go out into the field, they will walk by this on their way to the field. Talk about the significance of this monument.
This is maybe the coolest thing, in my opinion, of what we've done. Everything's obviously beautiful, but this is a little piece of history. If you look at, first of all, the rock, that is the original top step of the old locker room from when the stadium was first built many, many, many years ago. So every player that's ever played for Midwest City has taken that step up until this year. And so we took that step, we put it here, and then what we did is we engraved respect all, fear none, which was a phrase that many Bombers throughout history from many different coaches, including Coach Darnell, that was a phrase that they always used. Every week when describing their opponent, to respect them, but obviously fear none. And then obviously the remember all who have taken this step is based on what that step means as far as every Bomber player that's ever taken it.
All right, before we go any further, I should probably ask, for some of the viewers who may not know, who is Jim Darnell?
Jim Darnell was a former coach here. Jim Darnell won the first state championship here. Was to some the greatest coach that has ever coached here. Has many people throughout the history of Midwest City have played for Jim Darnell.
All right now we're in the visitor locker room. What can you tell us about this room?
Well, right now we're in the athletic facility, which you will see is kind of has a lot of different uses. So right now, like you said, we're on the visitors locker room. We use this for Friday nights. This hosts our visiting opponent. In the spring, it will double as a track as well as soccer locker room for the boys. It's not huge, but you really don't want it to be huge. Our numbers aren't huge for our spring sports, and you sure as heck don't want the opponent to have the nicest, most luxurious, place to change. So, but it's beautiful. It's better than anything that an opponent has ever had here. But like I said, it will double as an opponent's locker room as well as what we use for varsity boys in the spring sports.
All right, right now I'm with head trainer Jason Cox. And Jason, in all your years in Midwest City, you didn't have this luxury of having a training room at the football stadium, did you?
No, we've never had an athletic training facility here at the stadium. So this new facility is amazing.
And what are some other things you like about it?
I like the fact I have windows that I can see what's going on at practice. And we also have facilities for my student aides. So my girls now have a locker room that they can use to change for practice and games.
So do you come here every day?
Yes. Once we get the full release, we'll be here practicing every day for football.
All right. Jason, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. We are now in the, what would you call this room?
Multi-purpose room.
And what are the multi-purposes?
Couple of different things. I guess you could do 3 or 4 different things with it. This is a room that the team can meet, watch film. You split it up with offense and defense. Watch a daily practice, maybe on a Monday night or Monday afternoon, watch game film from the previous game. On Friday nights, we will use this as a hospitality room. As you can see, there's an area where food can go, people can sit. We have TVs that hopefully be streaming your games and your broadcast for cold nights. We will also try to utilize this for booster club meetings and professional development with our coaches. So this is a room that was designed for many different things, and hopefully it can be used throughout the whole year.
So you mentioned hospitality room. Who all gets to be in the hospitality room?
We have VIP passes. These are people that maybe we're bringing back from different teams, different championship teams. It could be board members, administrators. It could be little leagues. It could just whatever that theme for the night is. A lot of times, is what this hospitality room will be designed for. And a lot of times with the VIP rooms, it's to get a lot of different publicity out and different groups that don't get a chance to come to Bomber games.
And now we are in the home locker room. Andy, what can you tell us about this locker room?
It's big. Compared to what we've always had here at Midwest City, this is what these kids have really needed for a long, long time. The numbers in Mid-Del at all 3 of our schools are about 100 athletes when it comes to football. So something this size will make Friday nights very special. This is also an opportunity where they can come over here and practice 1 or 2 times a week to get used to the 100-yard turf fields. And as you can see, the lockers that we got in here are Wildcat lockers, and they're as good as they get. So this, I know, is not as nice as the hospitality area and this and that, but this is really the area that the kids are going to be in the most.
So one thing about this, you expect a 1-to-1 ratio locker to player?
We're very close to that, yes. And any, I would say your freshmen, if we had them in here, probably not, but they practice separate anyways. And there still is a place to locker at the high school that's not going to change. So is it close to doing that? By far. Will we ever need that? No, not everybody will be in here at one time.
And I hope you enjoyed that presentation. I really appreciate Andy's help with that. Andy Collier, the Mid-Del Athletic Director. And, of course, this is to honor the great Midwest City Bomber head coach from the past, Jim Darnell. Here's some facts about him. He became the Midwest City head coach all the way back in 1955, led them to a state championship in 1960, and then became the Mid-Del Athletic Director in 1975. And here's some other accomplishments he had as the Midwest City Bomber head coach. He was named Coach of the Year in different capacities under different conference names in 55, 64, and 67. Has a career record of 184 wins and 51 losses. Pretty terrific. And was listed as AD of the Year in 1975. And, of course, our very own Tom Carpenter played for him. Tom, any thoughts?
Yeah, he coached me in the fall of 73, 74, 75. And looking at all these stats, the big thing that stood out was he never had a losing season. And back in the day, there was some tough football in Oklahoma. I remember him as a soft-spoken man, but when he talked, you listened. He taught us a lot about the game and how to not to panic. One thing, his assistant head coach at the time was, and later became head coach of the Bombers, was Coach Dick Evans. He told a story a few years back that in the late 80s, H.G. Bissinger approached Darnell about a book he was writing about high school football in America. And Coach Darnell didn't hesitate. He directed him to Coach Gary Gaines at Permian High School in Odessa, Texas. That's where football is a religion. They'd won 2 Texas State championships and won that mythical national championship. The result was the book Friday Night Lights, A Town, a Team, and a Dream. The movie, Friday Night Lights, was a huge box office success, and it was released in October of 2004. Now, Coach Darnell passed away in July 2007. He was at the age of 78. The church was packed with many Bomber alumni that he had either coached or taught in class. And he was big on once a Bomber, always a Bomber.
Yeah, and the tradition obviously still lives on, and we now are about to pick up the third quarter. But that's really great to know about Friday Night Lights, because I remember watching that movie. Interestingly enough, I never got to the TV show that probably became more popular, but it was a big hit for a few years, even though I never saw much of it. I know it was a big thing, and that's just a great phrase, Friday Night Lights. And, of course, Jim Darnell, his imprints are all over Midwest City High School in all athletics, not just football.
Yeah, and he will long be remembered around this town because he, like I said, he's a legacy, and he's always going to be someone I've always looked up to.
Yeah, and want to move on to something interesting going on here. We don't have any games going on in this district, District 1 of Class 6A2. There's a game going on in District 2 of Class 6A2. That's between Choctaw and Bixby. And according to Squirtle, that game is tied at 7 in the third quarter. So it looks like Choctaw might be a team that you also want to avoid in playoffs. Well, if that's true, not just Bixby.
They were tough last year.
They got some athletes right now, that's for sure. All right, challenge for Midwest City. They got to hold on defense again as Del City will get the ball first, and we are ready for the third quarter. Here is the RE/MAX Cobblestone kickoff. There's no place like home, and who better to help you find it than RE/MAX Cobblestone.
Good kick.
KT's kick angled to the 10. Fielded by number 1 for Del City. That's Thomas, and he gets crunched past the 30-yard line.
He's not getting up. He got popped pretty hard. Nice tackle.
That's where Del City will take over. Now we're in the third quarter. This third quarter brought to you by Monterey Jack's Cafe Cantina. I ate there 10 days ago. I'm still feeling it. Scrumptious appetizers, fish tacos, tasty tamales, fresh salsa, among other delights. Best in Midwest City, Monterey Jack's. All right, so Midwest City on defense, they've been pretty good. They gave up one big play to Del City. The field goal drive for Del City was because of field position as much as anything.
Yeah, we just need to wrap him up, start it off, stop him. Nope, he got out.
Not here as he looks to get to the edge. That's the running back, L.J. Brown, and he gets a first down.
Got about 14 yards. That's way too much per play.
Jaden Long Jackson with a tackle. Bryson Spriggs coming in for Midwest City. But that is a current area of concern right now for the Bombers, handling Brown. Jacoby Smith has run the ball well at times for Del City as well. It's Brown again, this time left side. Big hole, and he finally gets tackled inside the 40. Mikhail Smith got him. But you don't want a cornerback bringing down Brown. You want one of your linemen or linebackers.
Just somebody needs somebody to get in the hole. The linebacker blitzing in there and plug it up.
Changing personnel as Midwest City. This time Shamar Edwards taking Spriggs' place. We'll see if they can figure out the work.
Ball.
Ball's on the ground. It looked like there was movement.
Just a bad snap.
Before the snap, but
don't
there
see
was
any
not.
flags. It was just he just bad snapped it.
Well, there's a break for Midwest City. We'll see if they can take advantage, but they have got to find a way to plug these holes.
Lost a couple on it for sure, yep. That ball was just laying there. I thought, whoa, somebody needs to get on that.
Maybe the center was snapped it too quickly there. I don't know. 2nd and 12. And this is a keeper for Jacoby Smith. He gets stood up at about the 32-yard line. The running back in was Virgil Yates.
He moved the pile pretty good, though. That was the problem with it.
You know, like the PA announcer said, several Bombers on the tackle, but that was about a 6-yard run.
Yeah, like I said, they can't allow that. They're going to have to slow them down.
So this sets up a 3rd and 6 and probably 4-down territory for Dell City as well.
Look for him to try to make the Bombers jump off sides, or at least get them closer.
Smith alone in the shotgun. He's got an H-back and a tight end right side. Looks to go right side.
Too many yards.
He lunges forward and just surges forward.
Got the first down.
To the 25-yard line. That's a first down on 3rd and 6. Tell you, the concerning thing there is it brings up shades of the second half against Carl Albert.
Yeah,
only now it's the big quarterback running instead of the big running backs. Whistle blows.
May line up? No.
Officials take time out. I guess a Bomber player has to come out. Can't tell who that was. Is that Artez Young, I think?
That's 6. I can't tell from the number.
Yeah.
Yep, 6.
Maybe there's an equipment issue. He didn't have all his
His helmet came off.
Yeah.
He got it on real quick, but not before the official spotted him.
Brian Wilson comes in for him. 1st and 10.
Ball on the ground, ball on the ground.
Drops the ball on the ground, and this time the Bombers converge. Boy, that made all the difference right there. It looks like Kanan Love.
Big 78.
Well, they got to get. Yeah, they got to get in the backfield. Yeah, he loved it. Remax cobblestone replay right there. Well, this happened the last set of downs for Dell City. They dropped the ball on 1st down, and 2 running plays later, that was all erased. We'll see what happens here.
2nd and long.
Smith with Brown in the backfield. Smith, first pass. If he can attempt one, he will.
We got a hand on it. I think we got a hand on it at the line.
It was well covered there by Brian Wilson Jr. If the ball was any lower, Brian Wilson would have had an interception. That's going to set up a 3rd and long. Quincy Cornegay coming in for Midwest City. Perhaps more of a pass rushing nose guard. And this is what you want when the team starts to run the ball on you. If you can somehow get them in a passing situation, that's a victory. But they got to close the deal here.
Yeah, we're fixing to go get him, too. I think they've got to have 5 guys coming after him.
You don't want to run past him, though. He can get a first down on a run play if there's an open gap there. Back to pass. He's going to roll to his right.
A little hold in there, boss.
They do throw a flag. Pass is caught. It looks short of the first down. If it is short of the first down, it's Sherrod Davis with a catch.
It is holding against Dell City.
You could force 4th down by declining the penalty, I think, but that may be too close as far as allowing them to go for it. So I understand the logic of taking the penalty as well. You're making it 3rd and way long here. In Dell City, they have one long pass play that led to a field goal, but otherwise they have not had a whole lot of success in the vertical passing game.
We've kept a lot of pressure on that quarterback, so that's they're getting in there most of the time. Let's see what they can do with this one.
Smith has 3 receivers to the left, tied into the right. I should say running back to his right. He's going to roll to his right. He has running room, fires across the middle. Oh, the pass is deflected.
He caught it. Number 6 came down with the ball.
Oh, my goodness, and there's a flag on the play. That's close to a first down.
Where's the flag? Is it down where he caught it? Yep. They may call offensive passing on that one. Doesn't matter. It's not the spot.
Is that yeah, cross the line of scrimmage.
I thought he was getting awful close to it. That's a good call. Official catching that one.
Well, if you could have forced an incomplete pass there, which they almost did, it would have been fourth down. They have it marked as fourth down anyway on the scoreboard, but I think it's now third down. They're going to replay it.
Yeah, instead of being third and forever, it's third and forever plus. So he's got a long ways to go. So looks like they're changing out for a punt, but that could be speaking too quick. They're changing out a lot of personnel.
Is it a loss of downs when you commit that penalty? I'm not.
Yes,
okay.
Pretty sure it is.
So if it's a loss of downs, then yeah
it's
fourth and forever. They're going to punt.
They're going to punt.
They did not mark on the change yet, so I wasn't sure. But now the chains have it correct. So the Bombers, thanks to some penalties for Del City and some mistakes on the snap,
got too many guys on the
stop.
line. Oh, no, they don't. They're good.
Jacoby Smith, the punter.
Nice kick. Get out of the end
Just
zone.
got it off there. Brian Wilson to field it. He's going to let it drop.
Nope.
It's going to be bad field position for the Bombers offense. They're going to have to field it inside of 10.
Great punt, though. Give him credit.
So this is a big drive for Midwest City because of the field position situation and the fact that if Del City can just avoid mistakes, they can run the ball at Midwest City, but the mistakes cost them that drive. You can't always count on Del City to continue to make mistakes. And because of those two things, this is a huge drive. You at least want to reverse the field. How would you rate D'Angelo Irvin's play in the first half?
I'm waiting for some more. He's had some pretty good passes, and he's found the openings when he's had to run, so he's just got to get blockers in front of him.
It's Friday. He's had a good first half.
Yes, he has, and that's going to be a good little gain. A couple of yards, just get him out of the hole.
Gets him outside the 10, gets him to about the 11-yard line, 2-yard gain. Rajon Tatum with the tackle. 7:30 left to go in the third quarter. Midwest City leads 16-10.
Maybe time for a little reverse or some razzle-dazzle or something to change up the pace.
Miles in motion. It's Friday up the middle. He's had some success there. And he gets to about the 15. So about 3, 4 more yards. He'll set up third and about 5. Kevin Green brought him down, the nose tackle. This is a huge third down. You don't want to have to punt from this area of the field.
Let's not make any mistakes.
Right, the running back, Irvin's going to roll to his left. He has time for a throw. He has an open man, but he overthrows Andre Miles. Threw it too high. And it's going to be 4th and 5. Oh, that's a huge miss there. The guy was open.
He threw it off the wrong foot, but that's a good one to keep for later.
That's one of those plays you're just going to have to remember because now it looks like the Bombers are going to have to punt. Of course, DJ's their punter. So they're going to give a look like they might go for it, but I'd be shocked. Yep, they're going to punt. DJ steps back. He needs to get a really good punt off here. He does. This is one of his better punts.
It's going to get past the defense. Nope. Goes out of bounds.
Took a Bomber roll. It does get into Del City territory. Still good field position for the Eagles, but it could have been worse. So we've seen both teams punt, but a lot of the action has been in Midwest City territory. 6:25 left to go in the third quarter. So, Tom, the challenge is if Del City can get off a snap, if they can avoid a flag, can Midwest City stop the run?
They're going to have to. I mean, his passing's not as good as I assumed it was, but I'm not seeing him play, but they need to stop that running game. Get him in the backfield.
Yeah, I am surprised that they haven't run the ball more to L.J. Brown, but we may see that here. We do see it. No, they faked the handoff, but
nice hit. There's a flag. Is there a flag?
This is good resistance here for the Bombers, getting a 2-yard gain.
Thought I saw a flag. Nothing. Might have been a cheerleader back there throwing something in the air. I don't know. My bad.
I do remember last game, or the game last year between these teams, Jacoby Smith ran very well in the first half, especially on their touchdown drive. They kind of put the game out of reach because Midwest City's offense couldn't get anything going. I'd say for the most part, his running game has been held in check some, and we have a flag.
I'll tell you, they moved.
And this is a gift for the Bombers. It just makes it hard to run.
Not.
If it is what we.
If a Bomber barked out a call, they were pointing and looking at Midwest City. Let's see what he was looking at.
Hearing the refs say some type of unsportsmanlike. It is against the Bombers. Well, that's one of the first penalties against Midwest City that I recall. So I don't know what exactly happened, but the Bombers have, for the most part, played a clean game. They are winning the turnover battle 1-0. Not sure what mistake happened there, but they aren't going to give up a first down just yet. That was one of their best defensive plays of the quarter. Broyles.
Another flag on the ground.
Another player loses his helmet. I believe that's Kanan Love who has to come off. And there's also a Midwest City Bomber player down. So a lot going on here.
It's Edwards.
And it looks like a chop block against Del City. And we're going to have an injury timeout. We'll take a break. You are watching Midwest City Bomber football on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
MM7 Sports Cards is your trading card and sports memorabilia store. Located just off I-35 and more, we carry a large variety of sports cards, old and new. We also have unique memorabilia for your office or your man cave. So come see us today. We are always buying, trading, talking, all things sports. MM7 Sports Cards, 2308 North Broadway, or check us out online at mm7sportscards.com.
Midwest City Bomber football right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. And this penalty on Del City marks them back. And we have a 2nd and 18. Shamar Edwards, the injured player, he was able to come off the field on his own. Hopefully he can get back in the game. And another passing situation for Del City. But they run it to Brown, and Brown will get back to the line of scrimmage, setting up a 3rd down and medium.
They've got to get him wrapped up or he's going to run all over them.
He's able to get past the D-line and couldn't bring him down. Brandon Wright got him down. So on 3rd and 6, again, it's always interesting to me when they bring in Kanan Love to see what he can do, if he can plug up the middle. And again, 3rd and 6 is a running down for Del City, or at least it has been in this quarter.
Yeah, at 6'1", 372, he's good to plug up that middle. He is strong. He's pushing him back now.
Wow, he got to the quarterback, who lofts it up, and it's incomplete. And you can give Kanan Love a pass pressure there, or whatever, however you word the stat, as the intended receiver was Jakeo Mitchell. I think this is going to be a punt.
Yeah, he had a lot of push on that. That Kanan Love looked pretty impressive there.
Will stay on and punt coverage. And again, the quarterback punts, so you got to be careful. He does get a punt off here.
Nice one.
Fair catch signal by Brian Wilson. He gets it at the 16-yard line. All right, this game is actually being shown on Facebook and is sponsored by Jazzercise 405 in Midwest City, the original dance party workout. Classes online or in person at 2839 South Douglas. Well, I think what we've seen from the Bombers, thanks in part to penalties by Del City, is they have bent, but they haven't broken.
Yeah, I was getting a little nervous there because they were making too many big gains, big bites at a time, getting toward that end zone and at least into field goal range. But like you said, they shot themselves in the foot with their penalties.
And so DJ Irving, not as big of a deal that he missed that wide receiver on third down, and hopefully he'll get a little bit more under control there. Friday with a handoff.
Not getting much.
Gets the left side. Yes, Friday has been contained a little bit better since that first drive where he was just running wild. But Del City is starting to wrap him up better. So this is going to come down. When that happens, it's going to come down to what DJ can do.
Yeah, if we can find somebody open, he'll hit him.
Pistol formation.
There it is.
Back to pass. Short pass to Mikael Smith. Smith catches at the 20.
Nice.
Turns. Knocks down a Del City defender, and he gets a first down. And that's what we've seen from Mikael Smith as a receiver. Not the long stuff, but they're giving him that short route.
They're giving him the cushion. And when he hits you, you're going back 3 yards. He's getting good yards after contact.
Kanijah Thomas with the stop. Well, what can we say? He's going to Oklahoma State for a reason.
Watch out for flying T-shirts. I think the ROTC.
This is exciting as we've heard the crowd. Even though it's been a good game.
Going footballs.
Irving fakes the throw to Smith and then throws it long, and Smith just couldn't get going there as he had 2 receivers on him. There's a third defender from Del City, too. That was
good coverage.
They were giving him a lot of attention. And he faked the short pass to Mikael Smith. They're trying to loosen up the defense there with the short throws, and Del City was ready for that. It's going to be 2nd and 10. Ball marked at the 29-yard line. 3:33 to go.
I'm still waiting for one of those reverses like we used to run with Brian Wilson Jr. Something.
They ran something like that in Del City.
Get this going.
Was able to sniff that out. Now the whistle blows. I think Coach Hall may have called a timeout. Nope. Del City did. All right, we're going to take a quick break. You're watching Middle City Bomber football on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
At Eskridge Honda, we go the Eskridge mile for our customers with great Hondas and clearance pricing. Save big during the Honda clearance and get a 2020 Honda Civic Sport sedan for just $179 per month. Online at eskridgehonda.com.
And welcome back to Midwest City Bomber football on the Oklahoma Sports Network, where Del City just called a timeout. And it was kind of a high-scoring first half, low-scoring third quarter. Bombers have been leading 16-10 this whole time.
Yeah, I think both teams had pretty good talks at halftime, and some of the coaches have figured out where they need to shore up the holes. And the sad part is Bombers haven't got anything going.
Irvin, quick throw there and some miscommunication with his intended receiver. Is that Wilson, I believe? I think that's Artez Young. It was Artez Young, number 6, not number 5, and he doesn't play as much receiver, so
Wilson's in there now.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense that there was they weren't on the same page. If he could have caught it, he can get some yards after the catch like Smith. He's a tough guy to bring down.
That could have been an interception too.
3rd and 10. Irvin rolls to his right. Fires the pass. Has a man.
Got him.
Oh, what a catch by Brian Wilson Jr. And he gets taken down to 35. I got to see that one, that Remax replay right there. Irvin threw that ball in traffic too. Just a great job adjusting to the ball. That is a huge play. Plunkett brought him down for Del City. And now Midwest City finally gets the ball in Del City territory, where much of this third quarter has been played in Midwest City territory. On 3rd and 10 too. So I call that a clutch throw.
That's about a 55-yard pass and run, so.
Irvin on the keeper. Good blocking.
They can't.
He makes the man
can't
miss as they
stop
couldn't
him.
drag his jersey down. Now he gets inside the 20, taken down to the 15-yard line.
That was impressive.
One good throw. Thomas brings him down. One good throw leads to one good run. You see the Remax Cobblestone replay. And this is a red zone opportunity for Triple Elite. Find world-class designs and hot new styles at Triple Elite.
That run-pass option, it's working. That was a quarterback draw, and they weren't ready for it.
Yeah, I mean, when DJ gets going, he gets that momentum, he gets that confidence, he's something. So's Friday. Friday gets the ball, fights for every yard, and he gets inside the 15.
He didn't gain much. I thought he got a little more than that, but
I did too.
Optical
It's really
illusion.
going to be a no gain.
Kind of an optical illusion. I really thought he gained at least 2 or 3.
We can hear the coaches yell for Shamar Edwards to come in. He's one of their tight ends. They have 3. They got a plethora of tight ends and H-backs who do the kind of the same things.
And they're all pretty talented. They can all catch the ball. That's the important part. But they can also block when he brings them in there if they need some.
That's the main thing for Shamar Edwards. We haven't seen Dylan Seabach a whole lot lately at tight end. On the handoff, Friday gets tackled in the backfield.
Number 40.
Del City stiffening up there. That's Jason Smith.
That was, he squared up for him, tackled him. Stopped him right on the spot.
For Midwest City, you want to get points here. And again, they did make a field goal. Would you try another one? You want to gain something, though. You want to gain something this third down. Whatever you do on fourth down.
Yeah, if he can get it up closer, then I might agree to that. But otherwise, if he doesn't get enough yards, let's go ahead and go for it. Throw a pass.
We got some tight coverage right there on Mikhail Smith.
You got 50 seconds left.
Throws down the middle. He's got a man. Oh, my goodness. Well, that's not on DJ. That was a perfect throw.
Hit him in a bad spot. The hands.
Oh, he's dejected, too.
He should have had that one, though. We needed that. Now I'd still go for it. But that's just me.
That was Shamar Edwards, so I mentioned earlier. I mean, tough thing is that has to be one of his only targets of the season. And I wonder if Dylan Seabach is hurt, otherwise that could have been to him. He's a little bit more experienced catching passes. So we got a 4th and 13.
They're blitzing.
Del City with pressure, and they're going to bring him down. He couldn't get a throw off. There's a flag, though.
It's against Midwest City, I think.
It was after the play, I would think, so I don't see. But I don't know.
He's telling Coach Hall, whatever it is.
I was probably going to tell Coach Dunn.
Might have both teams. They're going to make them go over and cool off.
Well, that's a tough break here. I mean, this is a one-possession game.
Personal foul, Bombers.
I think these are after the play. I do believe it's going to be Del City football.
Yep, that personal foul is what got us in trouble a lot last year, and it's not helping us right now.
Boy, that drop pass stings. But it's going to be, they did reverse the field. And I think it's just on Del City. It's after the play, so it'll be Del City football, but they'll move the ball back. So
we still got 39 seconds to.
Del City has a long way to go to tie this game.
I almost thought he pointed at Midwest City, but I'm glad
Jacoby
to see
Smith handoff to Brown. Can they get him down? It takes a few Bombers, but they bring him down before he gets to the 20. He gets to the 19-yard line.
He is way
Gained
short.
about 6 on the play. We're nearing the end of the third quarter. Well, it's probably going to be a scoreless third quarter. Xavier Lee Jackson, very athletic linebacking safety combo there, brings him down. It looks like they're going to get one more play this quarter. 2nd and 4. Almost got Middle City to jump. No flags thrown. The Bombers defensive line gets back, and we may not see a play now.
No.
And the third quarter is officially over. A defensive struggle in the third quarter. We'll see if the Bombers defense can continue to hold on to this very close lead. It's 16-10. Bombers lead the Eagles. You are watching Midwest City Bomber football on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
At Eskridge Honda, we go the Eskridge Mile for our customers with great Hondas and clearance pricing. Save big during the Honda clearance and get a 2020 Honda Civic Sport sedan for just $179 per month. Online at eskridgehonda.com.
Fourth quarter begins here at Midwest City, where Midwest City leads Del City 16-10. Here at Jim Darnell Stadium, the newly renovated Jim Darnell Stadium. We've talked about him a little bit. Hopefully, in honor of him, Bombers can win this game. This fourth quarter brought to you by Ben Osinga, Allstate Insurance. For your life and home insurance needs, call Ben at 405-733-4400. All right, Tom, it's gut check time.
I'm telling you. 2nd and 4. We need to get a stop here or get them to knock the ball out. Let's get another takeaway. Wouldn't hurt my feelings a bit. Just don't jump off sides.
Hand it off to Brown. There's
we
a
got
flag.
Holding. Yeah, our, number 48 got tackled by their guy. So let's see if that's what they call.
Quincy Cornegay.
I mean, he got tackled.
He can be a problem. He's a very good athlete. Well, I'll tell you this, that has been, I think, a significant development is the penalty situation has been one-sided, and it's gone against Del City. Midwest City has played more mistake-free football so far.
I mean, if you block a guy and he falls down, sometimes, they won't call anything on that, but when he just tackled him, took him right to the ground.
So now Del City snaps inside their 10, and it goes from 2nd and 4 to 2nd and 14.
That's that.
Jacoby Smith looking to his
long
left.
one.
Oh, he's got a man, and the pass is through his hands.
He missed it. And he knows it,
too. I think that was Jakeo Mitchell, the intended receiver.
Great.
Or no, it's actually number 13, Jalen Sweet. Went through his hands. It was a little overthrown, but
he was open. That was the bad part.
He got past the defense there. Well,
need better coverage.
Hey, I don't feel too sorry for Del City after what happened to Midwest City the last series on offense. And now it's 3rd and 14. If the Bombers can get a stop here, they should get the ball back in good field position. Yep. They got Artez Young back as one of their deep safeties. Smith to throw.
Pressure.
He's being chased. Voids our man. Now he fires across his body, and the pass is caught. Can they keep him from getting any further? Yes, they can. He will not get a first down. Well, that was exciting. I had to have you nervous that you were hoping he wouldn't even get the throw off, and then he did. And it was a long throw, but it didn't cover very many yards vertically. Sherrod Davis caught it before several Bombers brought him down.
Yeah, but Jacoby Smith, that was some pretty good footwork back there to keep from getting sacked. I mean, he completely reversed his field before he got out that pass.
He's elusive like DJ is. A little bigger, I would say. I would say personally, I'm biased, but DJ's a better thrower. Like I said, I'm biased. I think Jacoby Smith might be a better punter, and yeah, that's a good punt. Brian Wilson, what will he do with it? Catches on the hop. Can he turn the corner?
Yes,
he does. He gets into Del City territory. Oh, he got crunched there at about the 45-yard line.
But he got about 10 on it. That's the good news.
All right, so here's the latest opportunity for Midwest City to, I wouldn't say put the game away, not with this much time left to go.
Well, it can't hurt if they get good, consistent drives.
They can get some points here. They'll be in firm control. And then their defense, Tom, And again, you know, to be thorough, Dale City has shot themselves in the foot with penalties, but Midwest City, after getting gashed for a couple plays to begin the third quarter, they've really held on since then.
Right. They came out hot, and it looks like the Bombers are shutting them down. So see if we can get something going on. Just a steady drive is all we need. We don't need a lot of flash.
This is Franklin with the handoff, and he's not going to gain very much before Dale City runs into him.
He may lose. He may have got a yard. It's going to be close, not much.
Jason Smith brings him down, and Dale City has also tightened up on defense, and it's been a little bit tougher for Midwest City to run the ball with their running backs. Now with DJ, it's a different story because a lot of his runs come unscripted, or they may come scripted, but they take you by surprise.
Yeah, that quarterback draw was impressive. And I think that was drawn up, but we had good blocking to make a hole for him to get through there, too.
John Adams split wide. Oh, a trick play. This is Wilson, who tosses it to DJ Irvin, who's wide open down the 30 before he finally gets taken out of bounds to the 25-yard line. That was a handoff to Franklin, who then pitched it to Brian Wilson, who threw a short pass to DJ. And I like that design.
That's that razzle-dazzle I was talking about. We always need some of that, especially when you're playing Dale City.
It's a good tackle there by L.J. Brown to keep him from doing more. And the Bombers are sniffing it once again. They have gotten into the red zone twice without any points. They've also made a field goal, and this is the side of the field where they made it. I don't really know if there's a huge difference as far as making field goals goes, which side of the field you want. It's Franklin again, and he has to scrap for every yard, but he does gain a couple there. We're being gang tackled by several Eagles.
Let's see if we can get something going wide. It's kind of tough sledding up the middle.
We're under 10 minutes to go. Midwest City leads Dale City in a huge game for district standings. One of the reasons why it's huge is if you can get a top 2 seed, you get a home game. Not only would you avoid Bixby, you would avoid Choctaw, who was looking really good earlier tonight. They were tied at 7 with Bixby in the third quarter. We'll maybe check that score later on. Irving, short pass to Andre Miles. He has some running room. Miles makes one man, or kind of jukes one man before he gets brought down by another. Kanaja Thomas helped bring him down. And it will set up third down. But third and about 3. At what point will you trust your kicker? Could be a question that Coach Hall has to think about.
Well,
but obviously right now you want to get that first down.
If we can get in there, let's just punch it in that debate. I've had enough of debates for a while.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward anymore. It's Friday with a handoff. He gets to about the 20.
Lost a yard.
Yeah, this is a red zone opportunity for Midwest City, a triple elite red zone opportunity. Find world-class designs and hot new styles of triple elite. The last 2 times I read that, there were no points for Midwest City. But maybe all they need to do is run clock. We'll see.
Yeah, they need to run this play, though, and get a first down.
All right, so it's a huge player. 4th and 4. Last time they went for it on 4th down, DJ got sacked. Kriston Friday's out. He's taking a breather, getting ready to play, coming in linebacker. So Franklin's the running back. 3 receivers to the right. Look like John Adams got a head start. The throw to the end zone is deflected, incomplete to Miles, and Dale City has stopped him again.
We got a player down.
It's one of the linemen.
71.
That's Quavion Crump. Great young man. Very nice guy. Hopefully he'll be able to come back on the field when Midwest City gets the ball. But Dale City's defense holds again, and that's going to be something that I imagine Coach Hall will talk about, those red zone opportunities that they couldn't convert. So 7:33 to go, and Dale City, again, they have a reliable kicker. So if they score a touchdown, you like their chances on it to make an extra point. We're at 7:38 to go. We're nearing crunch time here. Jacoby Smith to pass. And then he gets brought down. Shamar Edwards Well, there you go. He dropped the touchdown pass and brought down Jacoby Smith there, and that's not easy to do. So you make a mistake, you make up for it. We saw a Remax replay of that.
That was great.
Now you got Del City backed up, and they're going to have to keep throwing.
That's the kind of pressure Coach Darnell would have liked.
They run the ball here.
Oh, he got tripped up by 46.
That's LJ getting on the play. I haven't called his name a ton, but he did get a sack earlier.
Yeah, this is probably the play of the game. If Del City doesn't make it, they
Clock is running at 6:30. It's 3rd down and 17.
They got pressure.
Smith to pass, rolls to his right, fires for a first down.
He's out of bounds.
The pass is caught, but is he out of bounds?
Out of bounds.
Yes, he is out of bounds. Sherrod Davis caught the ball, but it will not be an actual reception. And it will be 4th down. Del City should have to punt again. They're not, especially in 4th and 16. We're not quite in desperation time yet. By the way, Bixby has since pulled ahead of Choctaw. They now lead 24-7. But the fact that there's about 6 minutes to go and Bixby hasn't scored 50 yet is pretty impressive on Choctaw's part.
Yep. Bixby has a lot of talent. They had a lot last year, and they've got even more.
That Presley, the younger brother,
yes,
is dominating at running back.
Oh, high snap. Oh, man, we got close on that.
Boy, what a good punt by Smith, given how much pressure
clean.
he had.
That's clean. You can't call that.
And Wilson staying close to the ball, but decides not to pick it up. What a punt. How much do you think that is net-wise as it's inside the 20? And did Wilson, should he have tried to return that?
No.
Okay.
Probably did the right thing because, well, think about it. If he muffed it, where would
right. Well, that's the gamble. And when the ball bounces like that, it's hard to pick it cleanly sometimes. It's not a sure thing.
We're looking at 6:03 on the clock. Yeah, he probably did the right thing because if they had scored, it'd be putting a little pressure on us. So I think.
But that covers from where he punted 80 yards, over 80 yards.
At least.
And now the net gain probably be more like 65. That's still unbelievable punt.
The roll. He got a heck of a roll out of that.
Both a good roll and a great punt. And now Friday's in. Irvin keeps it on the fake, and he's going to get a first down and more. He's going to take off to the 50, 40, 30, 20, brought down inside the 15. What about that for DJs? We look at the replay there. Boy, did that fake to Friday work. That caught Del City completely by surprise. There you see the Remax replay. Kanijah Thomas saved the touchdown there. Well, once again, we have a triple elite red zone opportunity. Find world-class designs and hot new styles at Triple Elite.
That was 68 yards he covered on that.
That makes up for that punt. But I'll tell you, that long punt saved a touchdown perhaps for now. It's Friday. Can he start? Yeah, big game by Friday. He gets past the line of scrimmage and inside the 5. Best run we've seen from Friday this half.
They couldn't get him wrapped up, that's for sure.
Kanijah Thomas with the tackle, and now you try to punch it in with 3 running plays. If you don't get it, I think you would attempt a field goal here. A field goal would matter a lot.
We'd have to, because that would put us 9 points,
Yes. 9 feels so much better than 6.
It'd be a 2-score for Del City with under 5. We're right at 5 minutes now.
They could take their time here as well. Irving hands it off to Friday. Del City converges at the 5. But again,
that's going to the well. One time too many there.
It's not, even though you lose 2 yards there, it's not bad that they stop it and you can run clock. I'm not saying you don't want that touchdown because you never know when you might fumble a snap. I'll just keep running time. And it depends on how much you trust your kicker, but he made a longer field goal from where this is.
We're at 1st and 5, though. 1st and goal from the 5.
That should be 2nd down now.
2nd and 5. That's all right.
Big thing is the clock is running at 4:28. I believe Del City has 2 timeouts. Man in motion.
Irving
on the
in.
keeper.
Oh, no, that got good tackle. Somebody had a good
Boy,
form
they stood him
tackle.
up. Someone from Del City, I mean, it's such a scrum there, I couldn't see it.
Number 1.
Oh, yeah, Thomas. Thomas got him down. And Jacoby Smith, the quarterback, helped on that.
And the clock keeps running.
Let it run. But you got to get points. What a game it's been. Nothing like the game last year. And this could be a huge win for Midwest City. Could really help shape up a great season for them. Broyles is the H-back. He's on the left side. So is Friday. They hand it off to Friday. He goes left side. He's got running room. He scores! Touchdown! Kriston Friday, and the Bombers take a 2-score lead. With 3:21 to go, there is no flag, and they are in firm command right now. There is a flag now. But when did that flag happen? Could it be because again
it was a post.
It was after the play. Could be some type of unsportsmanlike. We do see this on touchdowns. One team yaps, the other team responds. Oh, did they call holding? It looked like holding.
It did.
Wow.
Gummit.
Well, he had a lot of room. Maybe that's why I couldn't get a good view of.
I don't know.
Well, where the holding took place. And that would make a field goal attempt more dicey if you don't get any yards here. But that's a huge penalty. I think, can you run clock after this? Well, it's no.
No, not on.
It was third down, so you're redoing the play. So, no, you don't run clock yet.
It's 3rd and goal.
So 3rd and goal at the 12. But I didn't see that flag.
I didn't
so
either.
For a few seconds, I was like, they got this game. Middle City's got this game. And
I was celebrating a little too early.
Now we're not sure. Irving.
There he is.
Fires has a man in the end zone.
That's pass interference. Come on.
It's incomplete. They'll stop the clock, and now what do you do? Ball's marked at the 12. That would make it about a 29-yard field goal. They made a 28-yard field goal here.
Yeah, I think he can do it. He's going to have to.
Clock stops at 3:15.
I really thought that defender pushed off.
It definitely was contact.
And it could have been just mutual contact, and that's why they didn't call it. Good call.
Coach Hall is not sure, so he calls a timeout. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Middle City Bomber football on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
It's a calling that's kept us free. It's a place to belong. What's the calling? It's doing a job that makes a difference. Serving your community and your country. It's part-time service where the impact is full-time. What's your calling? Air Force Reserve.
Welcome back to Middle City Bomber football. Off the timeout, they are going to attempt a field goal.
30 yards.
Escobar, the holder got hit. That flag is down. The holder got hit hard. Escobar made the kick. Now, if you get a fresh set of downs, I think you take the penalty.
I don't think you get a fresh set of downs because we had to reach the goal line. You got to think about it.
Here's the thing. Not all the defensive penalties are automatic first downs like they used to be, not at the high school level.
Right. And that's the thing. They've changed so many of the rules. You got to be sure before. But there should be no question on that. Take your points, Coach. It's all you need. You got the lead. I don't care if they score a touchdown and an extra point. We got the lead.
The scoreboard, not just what you're seeing on the screen, it reflects the scoreboard here at Jim Darnell Stadium. They do give them the points. What a big field goal, though. And Del City was bringing the pressure. It's a personal foul on Del City. Doesn't that last signal mean first down? They are resetting the score to 16. So I think it might be first down. Yeah, so
I have to disagree with that if we had a choice, just for the simple fact you had a 9-point lead with 3 minutes to go.
Yeah.
And our defense has gotten better.
It's a
this
bit
half.
of a gamble, but the reward is clock.
And we can still kick it again.
Yes.
And
got to hold on to that ball. DJ keeps it left side. Tell you, he's been getting hit hard some too, but he's a resilient player.
Hit for a loss.
He stayed in bounds though.
Yeah, and they're running out of timeouts. They got 2 of them left, so they're not using them now.
Donovan Stevens, who's going to Oklahoma State with Mikhail Smith, gets the tackle. 250 and counting.
Yep, kept him off the edge, and if he'd have got around there, it'd been 6. That would have been Katie bar the door.
Del City with 2 timeouts.
That was Steve Allen's in the backfield, being like a big fullback.
Irving on the keeper, and again he gets crushed, brought down to 10 for another loss. I didn't see a signal for a timeout, but the clock has stopped. Yes.
Yeah.
Del City has taken a timeout. We'll take one with them. You're watching Mississippi City Bomber football on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Hi, my name is Zach Knudsen. I'm an orthopedic surgeon in Oklahoma City. I'm a specialist in hip and knee preservation, in particular cartilage restoration, hip arthroscopy, minimally invasive procedures to try to salvage hips and knees and try to prevent them from going on to arthroplasty or joint replacement. Orthopedics is unique in that it is the ability to have somebody who's injured, their life has changed, and we fix them and they can go back to doing the things that they love.
All right, here we are at Mississippi City Bomber football on the Oklahoma Sports Network at Jim Darnell Stadium at Rose Field, where Midwest City is on the cusp of a huge victory against Del City. Who knows how many more games will get played, but they would be in a 3-way tie if they can hold on for the win at 2-0 in district play with Putnam City North and Stillwater, who are both off this week because of COVID. This is 3rd down. Do you keep running the clock? Do you make them call a timeout with a run, or do you throw the ball? Irving back to pass. Fires. Looks high.
Too far.
That stops the clock. With 2:17. And you're going to attempt a field goal, I would assume, about the same place because it is 4th and goal. It's not like you can get a first down without scoring, so and you don't have a whole lot of space. I will say this, you got to give instructions to your field goal unit to block a little better, protect that holder. Del City blocked an extra point attempt that was called back because of a personal foul. They have committed a lot more penalties than Midwest City. This is Escobar kicking.
Good snap.
Kick is up. It has the distance.
It's good.
It's good. The gamble for Coach Shaw works. They take some time off the clock. They do get the 2-score lead. Huge. And we'll come back in a moment. You are watching Midwest City Bomber football on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Hudiburn, the dealership Oklahomans can count on.
Why can you count on them?
Because they give their customers more. Oklahoma is growing, and Hudiburn is growing too, with 5 different brands and thousands of new and used vehicles.
Hudiburn, 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 Hudiburn.
Wow! It's been 60 years and Hudiburn is still here. You can count on Hudiburn. We'll give you more.
Hudiburn.com.
You can count on Hudiburn, we'll give you more.
And welcome back to Midwest City Bomber football on the Oklahoma Sports Network. While you were away, they called another personal foul on Del City. I don't know if it was after the kick, but if it was, you can't make it a first down, or maybe you just take it anyway. Either way, the field goal is good. It is a 2-score game. And we'll see, yes, they are going to apply the penalty on the kickoff, so that's good. Take the field goal, and you'll take the yardage on the kickoff.
It may not be too bad to
attempt an onside.
Kick that onside kick.
Yeah. How about Elijah Escobar there? How about that drive, Tom?
The drive, scoring recap by Fallout Sports, Oklahoma's only in-house, fully customizable team uniform supplier. Sublimation is our specialty, 405-701-5933. We had an 11-play, 68-yard drive capped off by Elijah Escobar and a 29-yard field goal. He actually had to make 2, but we counted this last one. So we are now at 19-10 over Del City. Something these seniors are going to remember.
And this kick goes into the end zone for a touchback. Kind of liking Escobar right now as player of the game.
Works for me.
We haven't given one to DJ yet. I guess I'm just waiting on that special game where he just dominates every play. He had a lot of good plays here. He had a touchdown pass dropped, another touchdown run, and that field goal was set up by a long run from DJ. Great call on the fake handoff to Friday. And no matter what the down and distance is, this is a throwing situation for Jacoby Smith and Del City. And he has not been as strong throwing the ball. We have not seen Del City's talented core receivers really do much.
Well, he's going to test them now. Let's see if our D-backs can. Needs pressure. We need pressure on him. There he goes. Fleshing him out. Fleshing him out. Fleshing him out. He's going to get it.
They keep him in the pocket.
Oh,
now he takes off.
That was a good run.
And he will get a first down. Gets taken at the 31-yard line. Again, he's a tremendous running quarterback. LJ brought him down to the 32.
Down to 2:05 on the clock.
Del City only has one timeout. You just want to keep him from getting big gains. That's the main thing.
That's right.
Nothing big.
Keeping pressure on him is not helping because he can't hold it with the pressure. He's going down. Oh, no. Now he's going down.
Crushed there. Series of Bombers took a shot at him. All legal.
That was the pressure we needed. I think it was Edwards. It looks like he's ripped his uniform, doesn't it?
Edwards, after dropping a touchdown pass as a tight end, he's mostly a defensive lineman. He got a sack later on, so feel happy for him. And Del City has to call a timeout. 1:48 to go. Bombers looking in good shape right now, leading 19-10. You are watching Midwest City Bomber football on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Fallout Sports is your leader in team sports, specializing in outfitting the entire team with screen printing, embroidery, team sports uniforms using dye sublimation from start to finish. They are truly your one-stop shop. With over 13 years of experience, you can trust the job will be done right, with all work done in-house. Fallout Sports, 534 North Penn, phone 405-701-5933.
back to Midwest City Bomber football on the Oklahoma Sports Network. While you were away, they threw it on 2nd and long, and it was incomplete. Well covered by the Bombers. 3rd down coming up, Bryson Spriggs.
He just threw that up for grabs. He was lucky that wasn't picked off.
Attempted to find Donovan Stevens there. Coming up next week, by the way, let's go ahead and show that. We go to Deer Creek, where we went last year, and it was a Thursday game in fall break. Midwest City won 27-14. See if they can do it again. Next Thursday, pregame at 6:30. There's Jacoby Smith.
Tackled in
Good
bounds.
tackle there by Brandon Wright in bounds. It's close to a first down. I don't think it's not a first down, so the clock is running. It's 4th down now.
They're in their hurry up.
Got LJ lined up as a cornerback right here. Smith, back to pass, rolls right. He can get a first down if he wants it.
Flushed out.
Now he'll take it. He was kind of toying with the
Fumble,
player. Oh, the
fumble,
ball's
fumble.
on the ground.
Did Bomber get it?
Yes, they did. And that's going to be your ball game. Midwest City can just take a couple knees, and they are going to prevail.
46?
LJ, see the Remax replay there. We saw it.
I think it was 46.
He lined up as a cornerback on the opposite side of the field if it was LJ there, but yeah, Jacoby wanted to throw it and kind of waited to just go get instead of getting that first down. Now Midwest City's going to call a timeout as I guess they had a personnel issue out there, but this game is going to be over, and I'll go ahead and keep it here as we'll have a commercial break coming up in a few, and after that, Tom Carpenter will be talking to a victorious Coach Hall. And the thing is, Tom, it'll be interesting to see what happens with Deer Creek. They did not play well in their 2 losses. The Stillwater and Putnam City North. And those are the other 2 0-2 teams. So right now, in fact, if I'm not mistaken, we'll show you the standings here after commercial break. But there are 3 teams 2-0. It's going to be us. It's going to be Putnam City North. It's going to be Stillwater. And no other team has a win because of cancellations.
Right, and that's
one of those teams is going to be in the playoffs.
Right, and that's just the saying. I guess it is what it is, and we're just going to have to deal with it as it comes along. All our games can be canceled for the rest of the season, and that we have to just agree to it. But I just hate to see that. But I'm glad to see a Bomber win. I'm saying the seniors will remember this. My senior year, we beat Dell City 28-0, and we were elated. I knew most of the guys on the other team by their first name. I'd known so many of them through the years. And this is just a great feeling for your seniors.
Yes, and
why are they?
Have another timeout by Midwest City. I mean, Dell City's out. I don't know what this is about.
I think it's a personal. I think they're ejecting a player. It's a chippy game. It's been a chippy game for years. It was a chippy game when I played, when my boys all played. That's just Midwest City, Dell City, and it's it's bragging rights. And when you get whooped as bad as we got last year,
yes, that's a big thing.
I like to see this for our seniors to get their revenge.
Because it was so one-sided last year. Midwest City couldn't do anything on offense. Here they've had the ball in the red zone a lot. They're going to call it. They're not going to take a knee.
Oh, wow.
19-10, that is your final. You hear Tom Carpenter putting the headset down as he's getting ready to talk to Coach Hall. Midwest City, they're waving. I hope it's not too that's all they can do is wave to Dell City. They don't want to have a handshake line. And that's your game. Midwest City goes to 2-0 in district play as they look to get a home playoff game. As we'll see how the playoffs look again with COVID. And they win the game 19-10 against their rivals, Dell City. Huge win for the Bombers. And we'll have more coverage for you in a moment. We can smell the smoke from the cannons there. You are watching Midwest City Bomber football on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
F-150?
Yep.
Where'd you go?
Greg Darnell Ford.
How was it?
Darn good!
We've got darn good deals with 0% interest for 72 months on most 2020 models. F-150s as low as $459 a month. Escapes as low as $349 a month. Fusions as low as $319 a month.
There's a new sheriff in town, and I'm laying down the law on low prices.
For 60 years, Hudeberg Auto Group has serviced all makes and models. Hudeberg has combined hundreds of years of experience to better serve you.
Hudeberg Auto Group uses the latest in technology and utmost customer care to get your vehicle back on the road safely and cost efficiently.
And that tickles. Hudeberg Auto Group.
You can count on Hudeberg.
We'll give you more.
You can count on Hudeberg, we'll give you more.
Fallout Sports is your leader in team sports, specializing in outfitting the entire team with screen printing, embroidery, team sports uniforms using dye sublimation from start to finish. They are truly your one-stop shop. With over 13 years of experience, you can trust the job will be done right, with all work done in-house. Fallout Sports, 534 North Penn, phone 405-701-5933.
At Eskridge Honda, we go the Eskridge mile for our customers with great Hondas and clearance pricing. Save big during the Honda clearance and get a 2020 Honda Civic Sport sedan for just $179 per month. Online at eskridgehonda.com.
I'm starting. Moving in. All right, everybody get in real quick.
You just hold it like this, and you don't need to flash.
Learning with VR. Finals, baby! You know I got this!
I got an A. Nailed it.
We did it! Rose State College. Going somewhere starts here.
Did you get that new F-150?
Yep.
Where'd you go?
Greg Darnell Ford.
How was it?
Darn good!
We've got darn good deals with 0% interest for 72 months on most 2020 models. F-150s as low as $459 a month. Escapes as low as $349 a month. Fusions as low as $319 a month.
There's a new sheriff in town, and I'm laying down the law on low prices.
It's a calling that's kept us free. It's a place to belong. What's the calling? It's doing a job that makes a difference. Serving your community and your country. It's part-time service where the impact is full-time. What's your calling? Air Force Reserve.
At Eskridge Honda, we go the Eskridge mile for our customers. Save big during the Honda clearance and get a 2020 Honda CR-V LX for just $199 per month. That's going the Eskridge mile. Online at eskridgehonda.com.
Fallout Sports is your leader in team sports, specializing in outfitting the entire team with screen printing, embroidery, team sports uniforms using dye sublimation from start to finish. They are truly your one-stop shop. With over 13 years of experience, you can trust the job will be done right, with all work done in-house. Fallout Sports, 534 North Penn, phone 405-701-5933.
Can't wait to see this place.
All right, I got this app.
Would you like to tour the house?
Yes?
Please.
Would you like to tour the house?
We're here, dude. House for sale.
Home for sale.
Home for sale.
Home for sale. Home for sale.
We've got a home.
Available now.
Hi, my name is Zach Knudsen. I'm an orthopedic surgeon in Oklahoma City. I'm a specialist in hip and knee preservation, in particular cartilage restoration, hip arthroscopy, minimally invasive procedures to try to salvage hips and knees and try to prevent them from going on to arthroplasty or joint replacement. Orthopedics is unique in that it is the ability to have somebody who's injured, their life has changed, and we fix them and they can go back to doing the things that they love.
It's a calling that's kept us free. It's a place to belong. What's the calling? It's doing a job that makes a difference. Serving your community and your country. It's part-time service where the impact is full-time. What's your calling? Air Force Reserve.
Since 1908, Cameron University has served students from all over the world. With nearly 50 degrees in 2-year, 4-year, and graduate programs, we have something to inspire you. Health and wellness facilities plus a wide variety of clubs and activities will help you find your perfect fit. Small class sizes allow you to be yourself while discovering your future potential as part of the Aggie family. Come experience the Axe. Enroll today at www.cameron.edu.
And welcome back to Middle City Bomber football on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Here is Tom Carpenter with the victorious coach.
I made the comment, when I was a senior, we beat Dell City, and there's no feeling like it.
Oh, it's an outstanding feeling. I mean, they're our rivals. I mean, Coach Dunn and the guys do a very good job over there, and we knew we were going to have to play 48 minutes, but we beat Dell City, and it feels so good.
Okay, Coach, I have a question I've got to ask you. Why do you take points off the board?
No, that's just the Cardinal sin. I was trying to take time off the board. You know, I thought we'd be able to get it in. We'd moved the ball really well. I thought getting it on the 7-yard line, 4 plays, I ought to score. I didn't. I had to kick another field goal. Well, I didn't take it off the second time, though.
Right. I'm glad you didn't, but I could see that. And that was the debate we had up there, and that was someone else was responding. Well, he's going to burn time. I was
trying to burn time. I thought we'd score, but they say don't ever take points off the board. But those are said by people that they don't make the rules. I mean, everybody's going to do it their way.
Right.
And it didn't bite me. I mean, it's like going for 2 there. I kept seeing the 6 points. Oh, 6 points. Oh my God, there's 1 point there. Well, you think that I get it on the 2-yard line or 1.5-yard line, I'm going to get. But then I looked down and my Friday was out and I had a smaller back end. I should have called the timeout and reevaluated, but didn't realize until it had happened.
One of my keys to the game was extra points, and
we're good on them.
We're doing good in our field goals.
We've made getting better.
I think it was 28 and maybe a 30-yard field goal kicked.
Yes.
And it was good to see those, especially there at the end. It makes it
it gives me some
2-score.
It makes it a 2-score game. And then we played well. Like I said, I think we left points on the board. We moved the ball. I was really proud of my O-line offense. And we didn't turn the ball over. That's a big deal because if you turn the ball over against these guys, it's probably a different outcome.
Right.
You know what I mean? So.
And they had some great athletes. That was one thing I saw a couple of times. We had some missed tackles, but it's the fact that they ran through this. They were strong and they were fast.
Right?
Thoroughbreds.
They are good. I mean, second best team we played all year, and their record don't indicate how good they are.
But young Mr. Irvin, he ran a couple of plays that they were drawn up. I think they were like a quarterback draw.
It's been worked on since.
And I was very impressed because those holes were opening up, and he scored it through there. I thought he's gone. He may score, and they had some good angles on him. It's the only reason he didn't.
He's probably a leading rusher.
Oh, I imagine.
For sure.
And Giannis came through with the kicks.
It wasn't Giannis. It was
Escobar. I'm sorry.
No problem.
My bad.
That's all right.
I'm old.
We had Giannis for a long time.
Yeah.
So and I'm proud of the kickers. Like I said, they keep stepping up, and I got a good team. We hopefully everything around us doesn't absorb us, and we can keep our focus on and take care of our season. We're 4-1, 2-0 in district. Man, feels good.
And we were talking about it upstairs. There's no telling what's going to happen with the games being canceled. And it just is what it is, and we have to take it as it comes. And now the Bombers are stepping up and taking advantage. The next week we're at Bridge Creek on Thursday. And Deer Creek. I'm sorry. Did I say Bridge Creek? Yeah. I'm not having a good day. Anyway, we're at Deer Creek. And I think the Bombers will take advantage of that. They've got a nice facility over there. And I think the Bombers will shine.
Well, we're playing hard. I mean, we're going to go to work. I told them, expect a little longer time this weekend and short week. So, we'll go full pads Monday and Tuesday, uppers on Wednesday, and go play a game on Thursday.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a great plan.
Coach, appreciate it.
Thank you for coming out. Appreciate you, buddy. Appreciate it.
All right.
4-1. Boom.
All right, we want to thank Tom Carpenter and Coach Hall for making his time available. Yes, it is Elijah Escobar. He's our player of the game for those 2 field goals and the extra point. Player of the game brought to you by Fallout Sports, Oklahoma's only in-house, fully customizable team uniform supplier. Sublimation is our specialty. Call 405-701-5933. All right, before we go, let's show the standings. And these are crazy standings. You see Del City's down there at 0-2 along with Deer Creek, but we really think Del City is one of the top 4 teams, and they'll have a chance to show it hopefully in games that are played. And some of these games are getting canceled. They could get made up. We could see 2 games played in 1 week because of COVID. But we don't think we'll see all of them made up, as some teams have had to cancel twice with U.S. Grant and Northwest Classen 3 times. But for Midwest City, they're in great shape now. 2-0, have a chance to go 3-0 against Deer Creek before a tough swing of games when they play at Putnam City North and host Stillwater. Those games will be tough, but they'll determine which teams get to play at home in the playoffs, which teams get the high seeds, and that will help them hopefully avoid Bixby anytime after or before the second round. All right, want to thank Tavion Devereaux, camera operator, Caleb Kerr, our producer. I want to thank Desiree Jefferson, one of our interns. And yes, I still want to thank Sequoia for helping us out, even though she was working for Del City